Okay. When last we left you, Blue Hearts, in the wake of your succeeding in revitalizing the tree at the last round, you joined your doppelgangers in the task of journeying to the Academy, closing the portal there, and finding your way home. You crossed the desolate cityscape and made your way northward through the Temple District, where you narrowly avoided a gargantuan version of Olaria the Doomweaver and her thralls. Finally, you arrived at the Academy, where the Mad Witch set about closing the portal, only for your entire group to be ambushed by demonic versions of the company assassins you knew from your world. An ambush had been laid by the unified forces of all four Elder Gods in an effort to finally stamp out the Blackhearts once and for all. As heated battle was joined, you desperately held off the waves of enemies, including warped versions of your friends and family from your world, and as the conflict wore on, the Blackhearts fell one after another, consumed by the horde of rampaging monsters. Finally, with only the discordant melody remaining, she urged you to flee through the collapsing portal while she held the armies off. She told you all to seek your answers on the Avatar Stones beyond the White Wall, the great enigmatic structure in southern Fertum. With that, you all fled through the portal back into your world, and the last thing you saw was the discordant melody summoning the spirits of her fallen friends before the seven of them charged heroically in one final stand. The portal collapsed, and silence fell. So, that is where we pick up.
Oh, fuck you!
Wow. Wow.
Fuck you!
Sad too. Yeah, me.
The sounds of battle from beyond the portal cease, and you find yourselves standing in a quiet cobblestone alleyway. The Blackhearts are gone. With their last breath, they defiantly held the line against the monsters in the dark. They're gone, and you're alive. Major Bowles stares wordlessly at where the portal just was, and he removes his hat, placing it over his heart. He turns to your group with a confused expression. What? What happened? And he awaits your response.
Sealed the portal.
Well, a lot.
You're gonna have to give me more to go on than that. What did I just see?
Maybe this isn't a conversation for.
Hmm.
Kinda. Go on.
Goff, what kind of stumbles forward and just falls to his knees, basically like right in front of where the portal was. He just kind of puts his hand on the ground.
There is. They were another version of us from another version of, I suppose, Arcadia, Fertum, or Thara. And, well, it's a lot to unpack. Sissel's right. We probably should.
Sissel's kind of leaning heavily into tackle. Discar's sort of leaning her weight on him.
Tackle with his matted and bloody fur from the previous combat.
Buddy.
He looks tired himself, and he just sort of nuzzles against you. And Bowles looks at the rest of you again. He says, "All right. I think," and he looks over at Lieutenant Colonel Jackson, who is also standing near the kind of perimeter that they set up, and he says, "I think the LC can handle things from here. Do you want to talk about it, or I mean, I can leave you alone if you need some time."
It might help to work through some of the things that just happened. We were only gone for what? A day or two?
A day or two. You only got an hour.
Right. Right. Ellen, at this point, remembers the part where they said, like, time flows differently. And right. That they did mention that time is different where they are. I suppose in that for Tomb, it is 25, 20, 25 years. 5 years in the future, they said?
Yeah.
Something like
They said it was 5 years beyond this one. I give him a number because I don't know year number.
Right. He kind of looks down at the ground for a little bit and seems to be in thought. He says, "Well, if everything's, if the academy's safe, I guess there's nothing more to do here." Um, do, he seems kind of like pensive a little bit. He says, "Well, if you want to talk about it, my office is open, or we can head back to your place."
Let's.
Verna, he looks over at you and he kind of salutes and he says, "Of course, I'll leave you to it then."
let's go home.
Let's go home.
So you're heading back to the Dapper Snapdragon?
Yup.
Goff is not moving. He's still sitting there.
You all look back as you begin to head off and you see Goff is still, your friend Goff is still kneeling on the ground.
Ellen's gonna go up and just put a hand on his shoulder.
Hiraeth also hadn't moved. She's going to cast Mordecai's Magnificent Mansion, go into the door and shut it.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm guessing it's not the usual, like, happy be our guest theme that happens.
Cecil just kind of walks back over. Puts a wing up.
Well, their tree did need a soul.
Oh, it's got 7. I think we did the right thing.
I think so.
right. Is that what you call it?
It's better than just leaving it like.
Well, the best thing we could.
You failed. You failed.
Maybe not all the way.
They're all dead. They were stronger than us.
Even if they're dead, they're together. Even if things in that world are as bleak as can be, there's still a tree. That's all we can really.
And knowing the 7 of us at least, if they're in the tree, there's no way they'd let it fall.
No. Not knowing us.
Goff's hand is shaking, which is probably really weird to see because his hand's fucking huge. And he slowly brings it up to his mask and slides it down. And
Oh,
he
shit.
looks over it. What?
Seen anything?
Yeah, I thought we
Yes.
had. Yeah.
Goff,
Okay.
Goff consistently has had his mask off. He took it off.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
No, but not in like public.
Yeah.
I mean, no. Well, I mean, we're like in an alley.
Okay,
But-
yeah.
No, we're like in the tower. No, where are
you're
we?
in the alleyway.
We were in the tower when we fought, and then when we came out of the portal that we came out of is in an alley in our world.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I had a
He
brief
slides his
just
mask
briefly.
down, and he looks up at Sissel, and his face is just like soaking wet,
Oh.
and he says,
Yes.
"I hope you're right. I really do."
That's all we can. Darn, that's right.
And he
I hate
He
to
looks-
say it.
looks back down at where the portal was, and he says, still facing that way, he says, "There's no more time for fooling around. There's no more time for distrusting us. If this world is going to survive, everyone is going to need to believe us. There's no more dancing around the academy. We need our friend back. We need him to finish whatever he is finishing over there, and he needs to come back.
Should
No more
we-
screwing around. No more waiting. Every stone must be in our palms. That wall must be crossed. We cannot fail now. After what has
can't.
been given for us to survive. Is Bull still there?
Yeah, he's walked off a little bit to give you some space.
Oh, I didn't know if he was okay. If he's far away, then never mind. I don't know
He's
if he
not
was,
far away. He's like maybe 10 or 15 feet.
He looks back towards Bowles. Is Bowles looking at him?
I mean, he's kind of like looking around and not looking in your direction specifically, but
Trying not to like nosy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's got a look of genuine concern on his face.
Goff turns back and looks. He like shifts a little bit and turns and looks around at Bowles, and he says, "Major, everything in your power, every last resource you have, we're probably going to need it. All the trust you have to give, spread it as far as you can."
You know, I'm on board. Whatever it is.
Well,
And Goff-
the
Goff-
short. Oh yeah, go.
He gets up slowly and he walks over to Bowles and looks at him just in the eye, and he says, and he leans down a little bit and he just says, "We saw what we saw this world where everything went wrong. We just came from there. We watched ourselves die. Ourselves with nothing left. Only us. Not even. We can't. Just. Everything must succeed. The city cannot be against us."
Slowly nods to you.
I'm
I'll do what I can.
I'm just
I
gonna
know that you-
also.
I know that there's only so much you can do, but just know that
Well, you should. He kind of nods in the direction of Verna. He said, "You should be speaking to your own friend there. She's outranks me."
I don't know anything about ranks, but I trust you. You trust us, and that's rare. We've had very few to trust.
You have more allies in this city than you think.
I hope that you're right about that.
I'll see what I can do.
I'm gonna also approach Bowles and just go, well, so what's happened is that 4 dark gods seem to have set their sights on Fatum. I believe they seem to have taken an interest in Arcadia especially.
Why?
I have no idea, but perhaps
How-
part of it is the gates below the siphon below it. Perhaps part of it is
that blew up.
it did.
Not
But-
before something got through.
Hmm.
Hmm.
The
Wow.
in the Arcadia we saw, the fighting was fiercest around the academy, especially. So, I suppose it's best to be on our guard.
I'll do, like I said, I'll do what I can, but you, Alan, you're a better detective than I've ever been. If anyone could figure out why a bunch of otherworldly gods are trying to mess with us, you can. You have any leads? Let's learn something.
There are. I'm trying to think of leads that
We
Ellen
have
might have.
enemies in every direction. Point a finger and we'll have something there that
We've got options.
We do have options. I think. I think a visit to the Temple of Pelor might also help.
Oh,
Just. Did we ever see what happened to that temple in alternate Arcadia?
you saw it was mostly
Outside.
collapsed and ruined, and you saw that Ilaria the Doomweaver was basically perched on top of it.
It was. I mean, we basically that early on mission where we killed a bunch of spiders that and like evil like that didn't happen for them. So we saw what
Oh,
would have
yeah.
happened to the temple had
Yeah,
um
like
we not
the Grand
succeeded.
Inquisitor and all of the paladins and clerics basically got like turned into thralls.
Okay. Well, one of the gods seemed to have been stationed out of what is currently the Temple of Pelor. We've
Make an intelligence check, Ellen,
yep.
with your new dice.
Yeah.
With my new die. Woo, thank you, Falk.
You're welcome.
16 plus
Total?
I think 4 is
Okay.
a 20.
20. Okay. So you dealt with Ilaria in your world. She was not a god. The
Oh.
gods that you are aware of seem to have 4 different armies. One is the Void Corrupted, and that seemed to be associated with Gonadar. That's the Void Matter stuff, the Gray Man,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. One is the Undead army that seems to be associated with the Pale Moon.
Okay.
One is the Flesh Horrors, which you don't really know what's causing that.
Okay. I did not realize they were not
Um,
associated with Gonador.
And the final one are the demons, which you have a good bet probably has something to do with Thariza Doom.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Alright, then, well, perhaps the clerical knowledge, or maybe the clerics there have some sort of stored knowledge. Books. Something that might give us an edge. We'll need it. And it won't help to have them on guard. It won't hurt to have them on guard, too.
I can call around, make some arrangements, see that you get access to everything you need.
It'd be appreciated. Thank you so much.
Meantime, I think He looks over at Verna again and he says, I think the Lieutenant Colonel's right. I think you all need to get some rest.
I need to see my kids.
Yes.
All right.
What? What? What about Harith? Doff looks back at the door.
It's invisible.
Oh, is invisible.
Oh, is it?
No. Oh, well, he looks back at the space where Harith stepped into.
I think she'll come when she's ready.
Give her some time.
uh,
What?
it's not every day you see yourself and all your friends die. Let's go home.
I think she'll be.
Great. So you went into the mansion. You basically shut the door on everybody but yourself.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific you want to add to that, or is it what is
No.
Wraith going to be doing?
Hiraeth, nobody else knows this. Hiraeth sleeps in the mansion every night
Oh,
in
okay.
her own room. So in her head, she's like, I want to go to my room, and she didn't have to go as far as everybody else. So she's just going to be in there.
All right. So the rest of you, with heavy hearts, make your way across Arcadia back to the familiar walls of the Dapper Snapdragon. Make your way within the stronghold and into the courtyard. What do you wish to do?
I immediately beeline. Just Tackle and I both immediately just beeline to Moira's hut.
You find her. It's still pretty early in the morning. She's like at her desk reading a book and sipping some tea.
I just kind of waltz in and just don't say anything. I just give her a hug.
Okay. She looks a little surprised at first. What's the matter? And she kind of takes a step back and like looks at you and like sees how bruised and bloodied you are from the battle you just had. And she's like, "What happened?" And she kind of like steps away for a moment and like starts scrambling like in a panic, like looking for like a washcloth or whatever. And
Just went to another world and saw myself and all my friends die. No big deal.
and what the fuck, Patrick?
Patty,
This
that's
is-
her mom.
That's like her
mother
mom.
figure.
Mother or sister stand
Oh
in.
my
I don't
god.
know.
Moira is like is like Sissel's mother figure. Yes.
No,
No,
not
we
her
don't know.
actual mother.
We don't know anything about Sissel's actual bloodline. We just know, but Moira his character.
No!
I mean, yeah.
Holy shit, Patrick! I will eject you.
Milf passing.
Jeez.
I am not denying that Mora is a MILF.
She is. Anyway,
Please.
she kind of kneels down near you, Cecil, and like she has this damp washcloth, and she starts like trying to wipe the grime and blood from your face, and she just looks up and says, "Well, I don't know quite how to respond to that one.
It's a lot, I know.
It's not no big deal."
Well, and she just kind of takes a shaky breath. It's like, I'm just kind of going through it.
Cecil, it's okay to cry.
Sissel just kind of just hugs her.
She just hugs you back and just squeezes you tightly. She says, "Well, if there's anything you want to talk about, it's just between us."
Yeah, just give me a little bit of time.
Of course. Do you want to rest? And she kind of motions toward the little bed in the corner of her hut.
Yeah, and I just kind of like, I don't know if Tackle can actually fit.
No, but there's like a little window on the side, and he kind of rests his head against the windowsill
Yeah.
over the bed.
Just gonna pet his
No.
head.
Okay.
Big cat head.
While you rest, Mara goes about like making some tea for you and is trying to get you some like cookies or whatever. Anything. She's just trying to like figure out as much as she can to like comfort you.
Just doing the mom thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else, or do you just remain like that for a while, for the
She's
time
gonna
being?
stay like that for a while.
The rest of you, what are you doing?
Where are the kids?
You know that Ilarin and Elise are probably um, playing in the courtyard. Luma, you know from before you went in this adventure that she and Arya went out into the city. So they're
Okay.
off doing something for the day.
Okay. Alan's gonna. Alan's gonna go find Lauren and Elise
Mhm.
and just.
You find Ilarin just kind of playing with a practice like a wooden practice sword against with one of the target dummies. Elise is nearby. He's drawing some pictures.
I'm just gonna walk in and just sort of like sit and just. How are you guys doing?
We're okay, Elise
Hmm.
says.
And she's gonna like immerse herself in like what they're doing so she doesn't have to deal with
Right.
for a bit and
Lauren
like
is Lauren is super focused on this training dummy and just like hitting it with the sword in various spots, and you can see his form has improved. And
mhm.
Elise is just doodling a little bit, and he occasionally will, with a smile, show you what he's been drawing. Nothing ominous this time, just pictures of his siblings and the Blue Hearts and other people from around the courtyard or the Snapdragon.
Aw.
Mhm. How's your do you need more charcoal? I can go into town and get you some next time.
No, I'm good.
All right.
Auntie Mara gave me some.
Oh.
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 Mm.
Oh, have you been using colors?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Kind of proudly shows you this picture of they drew of Roscoe with like little browns and
Oh. Ah, it does look like him, doesn't it? You even got his little head marks right. Look at that.
yeah. I I based it off of your friend's picture because I never actually met him.
Right. Yeah, you haven't. Well,
But your friend's a
hopefully
good drawer.
he is. Do you wanna do you wanna learn some stuff from him?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll go talk to him, okay?
Okay.
All right. And then yeah, and then I'm just gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go see what Hold's getting ready for. I guess it would be lunch for this.
Not even like it's probably like 10 in the morning.
It's still 10 in the morning. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Whoops.
Yeah.
we go into a portal and then we come back and we're all fucked up.
Okay, so I guess
Ellen's the least fucked. Ellen took like no damage.
Ellen took no
Yeah.
Rose.
damage. Yeah, that's why like she's the only one who can appear without like worrying the kids.
Yeah, I was about to say because if you were like covered in shit, like your kids would be terrified.
Yeah. Like if Ellen would have like cleaned up if she was. Oh, I mean, to be fair, if Alan gets a scratch, that's very scary. Um, but yeah, she's just gonna spend the day like like showing like being amazed by Elise's pictures, and then like every time if Alarin like asks for help, she can be like give a few pointers, like just I don't know, like tuck your elbows in or
Yeah.
something.
You just spend the day basically just immersing yourself in time with your kids.
Yeah.
Probably later in the afternoon, Luma and Arya come back, having gone shopping out in the market district for like clothing and that kind of thing.
How does clothing work? Is it just like
Just nice clothing, like a new shirt, new pair of pants, that kind
How
of thing.
does clothing work?
how
What do you
does
mean?
clothing? No, I was thinking like, do you have to go to like a tailor? Or...
I mean, they have tailors in the city who probably have pre-made things, and they probably have to spend some time getting them adjusted, fitted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, other people probably who can't afford that kind of thing usually just like have clothing that's ill-fitting.
For a while, Ellen was probably like stitching stuff for her own
Yeah.
for her kids,
Mhm.
and now it's like Ellen's probably like just into it. Like, hey, so Luma, what'd you get? What'd you get?
And she just kind of shows off this this new tunic that she picked up.
It's wonderful. You've got an eye for this.
Oh, it was Arya that picked it out.
Well, you two are getting along then.
Hmm.
It's good. Watch out for each other.
You know it. It kind of Arya kind of laughs.
Right. And then yeah, I guess that's that's what Ellen's doing.
Okay. So Mido, you were going to find Verna. Okay. So we can handle that in text. In the meantime, while you're doing that, I'll also ask Goff, what are you doing? I can kind of multitask a little bit.
Um, Goff kind of in a haze, sort of drags his feet into the stronghold and makes his way over to the tree,
Mhm.
the storm oak. And he kind of stops in front of it, like a little further away than he normally would go to like kneel below it, and he just
Okay.
looks up at it, and he just sort of stands there for a while, and sort of tries to process all of the things racing around in his mind, and he's just staring. He's just kind of looking up at it, and I would say he probably kind of zones out or dissociates or whatever fucking word it is. Like he just kind of trances and just stands there for probably a few minutes at least. And he's just kind of standing there. It's probably kind of creepy to other people because he just sort of stands there in a way he does not normally, and he's just kind of frozen.
Like not even like meditatively, just
No, he's just standing there. He's
like
he's
Jojo
really
ominous sing
well, not like menacing. Just he's just
there.
he's not trying to be intimidating. He's just really like he's
Tense.
He's
I
in a
don't even.
daze.
He's in a daze. Yeah, a lot of things just happen very quickly, and has a lot of different conflicting emotions. And eventually he will kind of look down and slowly walk over to one of the bases of the tree and put his hand on it.
Okay. Are you meditating and trying to communicate with it, or are you just putting your hand on it?
Not right away.
Okay.
He just kind of puts his hand on it and kind of leans into it and sort of feels the weight of everything hit him a little more, and he kind of falls into he doesn't fall, but he feels heavier and kind of uses the tree to hold himself up. And
Okay.
he's just looking down at like the flowers and the vines, the base, and just sort of just staring. And sorry, this is probably I don't know how I'm trying to just sort of describe that he's just really unlike him he's ever been. He's like it's I'm trying to make it clear that he was very affected in a lot of bad ways by what transpired.
Right.
Like he just went to like his worst nightmare, a world where everything went wrong and nothing that he did mattered, and uh and watched they saw what it would become of him and his friends, and watched them all die in terrible ways apart from each other. And even though there was, you know, the little bit of good that came from it, and the tree and the stone, he's just kind of overtaken by how much went wrong. And he's also trying to process the fact that like Eldath didn't seem to really help him in that timeline or whatever. Like he's trying to figure out how to deal with that. So he's just kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all mostly in his mind, but he's like really struggling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he just doesn't know how to deal with it yet. And I don't really know if he does much more than just kind of
Just sort of meditate or just stay there in a
He-
fugue state, basically.
a fugue state's a good way of putting it. He's kind of just like on autopilot, while his brain is his thoughts are so occupied with everything that happened that his body is kind of on autopilot, that he's not really thinking about what he's doing. He's not meditating. He's not sitting in a meditative pose. He's not trying to reach out to Eldath. He's not trying to calm himself. He's just sort of trying to just get through all of the things that he's been feeling. And feebly, he's not doing a very good job of it. So he probably, like, for like if other people are around, like if Fulani is around, or if anyone like that would normally be in that area, like probably looks like very uncharacteristic. Like he just looks like a lot less serene or stoic. He's just fucked up. Anyway, I feel like I don't need to keep narrating how fucked up he looks. I
Mhm.
think I gotta get the point across, but yeah, that's basically all he's really doing right now.
All right. So you just kind of.
And I will say one more thing. Obviously, none of this matters to anyone because no one else knows he's thinking this, but just for the sake of saying it, he's also kind of feeling in a way that he hasn't really addressed before. Like when we come back to the stronghold, pretty much everyone has someone they can go to. Ellen has her children. Mino and, well, I guess Mino and Verna could also kind of fall in that category, but they kind of talk. They kind of have there was a relationship with each other. I mean, obviously but like Sissel has Moira, and Hraith, I mean, to some extent has I can't remember her name, the woman who works in the forge. Like she has a connection.
Dahlia, yeah.
But he kind of doesn't really have that. Like he has Felania, but they don't really have like a deep relationship. They basically just talk about druid shit, like plant
She
shit.
got Hulk.
Well, no, but I mean, like, he doesn't have like a distraction,
Because Roscoe's not there.
right? And even though he has the rest of the Blue Hearts, like while they're all dealing with their own thing and they're all kind of off, Hraith isn't even here, and he's feeling a little bit more lonely,
Mhm.
and he's thinking a lot about Liza and Roscoe as well in the storm of all those thoughts, and he kind of like, I think as he walked over to this location, he was watching Sissel go to Moira, and not in like a jealous or envious way, but he saw that and he was just thinking about, like, it made him think about going to Liza back in the time when he would live with her. And so anyway, more things that are sad about Goff. I'm done now. That was it. We can move forward. Sorry.
That's sad.
Goff always sad. Eternally sad, man.
It was Anti-Mito, wasn't it?
Anti-Mito, yeah. They both kind of killed each other.
Double fatality.
That was sad.
That was really sad. That was real fucking sad, y'all.
That was so.
That
Oh,
was
you
real
know,
fucking sad, y'all.
no, you're right, Lauren. They are, but like, he also doesn't like. It's a different kind of close. They have like a shared trauma close kind of thing, and it's not really like. It's a different. It's not the same thing as like
Same
just
trauma.
wanting to.
Same trauma.
It's not like Goff would go to like Liza or Roscoe if he wanted to just like be like
Comfort or
Actually-
wisdom, basically.
yeah, or he just wanted to like put his head on someone's lap for a while and not have to think or say anything.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like. I don't think Mino and Goff. I mean, obviously that could be something that could happen, but I think they have a different kind of relationship. I wasn't trying to like be like, oh, Goff isn't close with any of the Blue Hearts. Like obviously he's very close with all of them, but I just meant like there's specific dynamics that he was kind of feeling lonely, lacking specific dynamic that you kind of wish he had at this moment.
Yeah. To be fair, Ellen is also like not is like burying that in like, okay,
Yeah.
I have needs, but I have to ignore them because there are people who depend on me.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yep.
We're all bad at coping here.
Yeah, this is some real bad coping mechanisms going on.
Great.
Um,
I think it's weirdly. I think
Sissel?
so far Sissel might have the healthiest response to this situation.
God fucking forbid Sissel be the most well-adjusted
I mean-
person in the group
I
at
mean,
this moment.
It is the fact. I mean, the fact that she has her mother, like her basically her mom,
Yeah,
her stand-in
surrogate
mom, present. Her surrogate mom present makes it possible for her to do this. But still, like I think out of anyone, she might be handling this in the most intelligent way
The
possible.
most healthy way.
Yeah.
Actually, well, Mito and
Unseasonably
Verna
cold
might.
temperatures in the nether
Oh well,
regions
yeah. I
above.
mean, Mino and Verna are still talking, but yeah, so far.
Okay. So we'll allow that to continue on, but in the meantime, Ellen, I'll say at some point, you had mentioned you were like gonna see what Holg was cooking.
Yeah, whenever it comes around to like.
Right. So I'd say maybe closer to noontime, he's like in the kitchen cooking up or getting lunch ready for all of you. If you want to go pay him a visit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk in and like see him like running around in his natural habitat. Just sort of like. And just sort of, I guess, ask, hey, do you need any help here?
Oh, yeah, of course. If never
Sure.
wanted to help before. Yeah, I could use an extra hand.
All right.
And he just
Give me something to do.
he just sort of starts directing you to like get him various ingredients and stuff as he prepares the afternoon meal
Yeah.
for all of you.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell him stories about how, like, I used to have to survive on, like, a tiny budget from investigation work and, like, how I had to make it work with meals for my kids. And then, like, it's crazy that now that's not something I have to worry about because, you know, that they're all. I know that they'll be well fed and I know that they'll love it. So, thank you.
Well, there's one thing I know how to do, and it's cook a good meal.
Thank you.
Where's my dice? Nope. He is not perceptive.
Hog was absolutely dead.
Yeah.
We
Absolutely.
saw a grave.
You saw his gravestone.
We saw a
I
gravestone
saw his
for Hole.
gravestone, so I'm like, I need to appreciate every one of our employees.
Yeah, I just did a roll to see if Hog had any insight into your state of mind, but nope, I rolled a net. So, poor Hog. So he just continues to cheerfully prepare lunch with you assisting him. Near the end,
Ellen
as
probably
he's...
wouldn't want it like any other way. She doesn't want to like burden him.
As he finishes up and he starts getting ready to prepare the table and everything,
He says here, would you mind getting the rest of your friends together while I
Sure,
set the table?
sure. I just speak into the earring and just go, "Hey guys, lunch is ready." And I also go out and find like the kids and call them in for lunch if they're still around.
So you can go
I'm
get.
guessing at this point Luma hasn't come in yet.
No, she came back with Aria.
Oh, she came in the morning. Okay, I
So
wasn't sure timelines.
you're able to collect all of the kids and bring them to the dinner table, or the lunch table rather. Um, and the rest of you hear, well, with the exception of Hiraeth, hear the call to lunch.
Alan probably also walks out and uh, would she see golf?
Yeah.
I think the tree is in a fairly central
Is it in
location.
like line
think
of sight from
I
entrance to the tavern?
I
Yes.
think the only thing that could block the sight of it is the forge building is kind of, if I remember the map layout correctly, the forge building can block the vision of of the base of the tree if you're like coming in through the entrance. But other than that, it's pretty easily seen. What?
Sorry,
I'm reading
Lauren.
chat, and Lauren.
I'm trying to keep up with chat.
Oh,
Oh my God, Lauren. Yep, I know.
Yeah,
So-
so
So
I
all
don't
of
know
you.
if Goff is gonna like come in or if he's still at the tree.
I mean, he heard the message, but it might have been kind of muffled to him because he was really.
Okay.
I have a question. You said that I had to stop. I stopped being able to send messages to Roscoe because he needed to be like fully uninterrupted for his like training or whatever.
Yeah, he asked you.
Did I get the impression that like sending messages at all was bad, or that he just wouldn't respond to them?
You didn't get the impression that sending messages at all bad. He just said that he would likely not be able because he has to focus and meditate.
Did I get the impression that if I were to send a message that it would be bad, that he would
No.
be upset?
Nope. You,
Uh,
you Roscoe does not get upset at things. No.
I just wanted to make. Well, okay.
He might have in this trip.
Well, yeah. Maybe it's for the best that he wasn't there. Goff will hear the message from Ellen, and he's still kind of like hit. You know how like when you lean up against something, you'll hear like your forearm, and you're kind of leaning into it, and maybe you rest your head on your wrist or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? That kind of pose. He's kind of doing that up on against one of the five five base pillars or whatever.
Okay.
And he's just been kind of like pressing his eyes into his wrist for a while, and he hears that, and he kind of lifts his head up and takes a big sigh and tries to stand up a little more straight, and he looks to the left down at the spot where he would normally sit to meditate, and he looks down at the spot where Roscoe would normally sit next to him, and he just sighs again, and I'm gonna use cast sending.
Okay.
And I'm gonna send a message to Roscoe.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say, we miss you. We're okay, but we're not whole. Please come back soon. That's it.
After what seems like a small length of time, you just hear a soft voice in your head say, "I miss you too."
Buddy.
I am almost done here. We'll see each other shortly.
Goff smirks a little bit. His face is still probably kind of wet. And he just just pulls his mask up a little bit so he can wipe his face off, and he sniffles, and he pulls his mask back down, and he lurches towards the tavern to go meet up with everyone.
Okay. So the rest of you also, at least, Mido, Verna, Sissel, you hear this call to dinner, basically, or lunch.
Lunch.
Excuse me. Brain.
The lunch bell.
Sissel gets up and just kind of pats Tackle. So you look really tired. Okay. So you should stay here.
Kind of slumps on the grass outside the cabin.
Good boy. Rest up well. I'm going to go, eat lunch, Moira. You can come if you want.
I think maybe it would be best if you were. Well, yes, of course. Why don't I go?
Okay.
Family should be together right now.
Thanks. I'm gonna head on towards the main building.
Okay. She kind of locks up her cabin and follows.
Oh, and Ellen's also just gonna whisper. Also, if you guys don't mind washing up a bit before dinner,
Oh,
so you don't scare the kids.
Sissel darts around. Well, actually, Sissel's already been cleaned up because Moira got the fucking
Yeah, a little
washcloth.
bit. You can also prestidigitate yourself.
Yeah, I also
I-
kind of prestidigitate myself.
I will say that Goff will stop at wherever he is walking already upon hearing that and look down and be like, "Oh." And then
You guys are covered in blood.
He'll walk back. He'll walk back the direction he was going until he sees Sissel.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, when she gets closer, like, could you help? And he kind of points at all the blood on his arms.
Yeah. I've got you. And just gonna steadily prestidigitate God.
Okay.
Just so like we don't have like everybody walking in
A moment.
with like and then like Arya and Luma and like Lauren and Alicia are there and they see all of us just covered in blood except for me.
Ellen tried to kill us all.
won.
Goff will, he'll just put a couple fingers on Sissel's shoulder in appreciation after
I
she.
also feel like it would freak Holg out a lot.
I mean, I think he's seen us. I think he more than a lot of people have seen us kind of fucked up. Just because we always end up like fucked up and eating
food.
eating food
Fucked
we'll
up
covered
and
in our own blood.
All right. So all of you, kind of over the course of the next like 15-30 minutes, wander down and congregate at the dining table. Holga's put out a big old spread of comfort food. Just some like beef brisket and chicken wings and hush puppies and mac and cheese.
Always count on Holg.
Hol just goes into a state and just keeps cooking. It's kind of like you, Mel.
Like literally just me.
It's like me with FF14 housing.
Yeah.
Blackout
Finds
and
that he
suddenly
cooked
there's a
a lot
bunch
of
of food.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay.
Me cooking ricotta just before D&D. Not cooking ravioli filling just before D&D.
Okay. So you all make your way down around the lunch table, the dining table, with food in front of you. I don't know if this is going to be a very silent lunch or what you plan to do, but
I'm just gonna try to not make it too silent because there are people,
Yeah.
there are like
Right.
people who aren't recently traumatized here. So she's just gonna like, while she's at dinner, she's gonna wink at Alicia and just say, "Hey, Goff."
Guy, this is gonna be a little awkward because
I know.
I was already thinking Goff is definitely sitting at the table staring down at his plate not moving. He's still
Oh.
like kind of but anyway, he'll kind of sit there and slowly kind of register that you said his name and kind of
Um,
yes.
Alicia loves your drawings, and he was wondering if you'd like to teach him sometime. Give him a couple pointers.
Lacey looks over at you, Goff, with just like this like eager, wide-eyed stare.
It's child.
Well, I've never wow. Never taught anyone. I just sort of figured it out myself. I could try, sure.
I think that's all he wants. I look at Alicia. He is.
He's like nodding his head, just rapidly.
All right.
And he just continues to shovel food into his mouth.
Yes, whenever you like, Alicia, of course.
Thanks, Uncle Goff.
He smiles at being called uncle.
It's like we can't cheer each other up. We'll send the children in.
The children.
And kind of being broken out of the stupor, he sort of reaches for some food on the something and starts eating, and it has a little bit of that, not like in like a meltdown moment that where everyone's gonna like notice, but I don't know if you guys have ever watched a fucking, I know it happens in Spirited Away. I don't know if it probably happens in a couple
Oh,
other
the
Ghibli
big
movies.
Ghibli tears.
When you eat something and you just start crying.
Yeah.
Like
Because it's so
he
good.
eats
That was me at the pink door.
That was
he
me.
eats
That was me at the big door.
he eats something like something that Hulk makes that is very comforting, and he does that a little bit. It's much more subtle. Like he some tears. He starts crying like a little bit, even after all the other crying he's already been doing. Like he eats something and he doesn't like start having a meltdown like vocally. Like you probably wouldn't notice unless you were looking right at him. But he does that a little bit, and he starts eating, and then he's like realizes that he's really hungry, and he actually starts like eating more.
And as you continue eating, like getting your appetite back, Hulk actually brings out more because
He's in the cooking state.
yeah, he just continues bringing out as much food as you all need in order to feel full and feel satisfied.
It's like the Avatar state, but
Yeah.
Holt's eyes just start glowing, and he picks up a ladle.
The arrow tattoo on his head starts
Oh,
cooking like this
goodness.
amazing stir fry.
Cecil,
Okay. Yep.
for everything that's happened, she actually looks like she's. I feel like during that point in time, she did kind of catch up Moira on just like a Spark Notes version of everything that happened, and she seems to look a little bit calm.
Cicely, you actually, as you're kind of sitting there eating, you do feel like that this warm presence of like wherever you've placed the stone, basically, I guess maybe in your satchel or wherever you've put it
Yeah.
on your person. It's just like this warmth, this comforting feeling, as if it's trying to soothe you.
She smiles and keeps eating.
Okay. All right. So, Mito, you come downstairs. join the table. I'm assuming at some point Verna does the same when she finishes writing her report.
I like what you've done with your hair. Ellen just sort of smiles, just, I know what you're doing. Well, you know, looks nice.
Huraith, as you are in your mansion, in your room, almost like an instinct, your servants, your little spectral servants, occasionally try to bring you food or blankets or whatever you need. Like
For several
subconsciously,
hours,
almost.
she waves the food away, but eventually she'll get hungry enough to eat it.
All right. Okay. So, you all continue eating, but you have a full day ahead of you. What do you wish to do?
I'm a simple woman. I have a traumatizing experience. I ask Hulk make egg.
Hulk make egg.
Lord make egg.
Egg salad sandwich.
Holg, I think you heard make me a lot of eggs. I said, make me all the egg you have.
I'm sorry, I think you misunderstood. What I meant was, I want everything that you have. Oh, hold me there.
Oh, the Hulk made that? Yep, so you just continue eating like that. But again, you have the full day ahead of you, so I'll leave that to you all to decide what you want to do.
I think at some point
Yep.
we should probably have a conversation about what we're going to do next. But
We'll
maybe
need Heraith here.
yeah.
But
I didn't mean now, because But
oh yeah. Oh, I know.
but at some point.
At
Yeah.
some point, definitely.
It's really weird. I'm feeling kind of good about this. I mean the future, not like
Not what just happened.
No,
Yeah.
no. But I
Well.
Oh my god.
why do I need to spare with a mouthful of eggs? She
Mido's back
speaks.
to normal already. Mouthful of egg.
Situation normal, all mitoed up.
Oh my god.
No, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, whatever.
Guess we should live with purpose or something. So small.
I guess we should value those around us and like
Oh my fucking god.
try to live fulfilling lives. Or whatever. It's not like I care or anything.
It's not a love you guys for anything.
What? Is Mido a cave woman? Mido
What's
finds
happening?
purpose. Huh. Huh. Mido fire.
Verna.
Mido. Wait, no, this is different. This is not a caveman anymore. This is like a caveman snake.
Caveman.
I'm trying to sneak around.
Hold.
My plate armor.
I want Eggy. Bacon's not enough. I need more eggs.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Alright,
What
so
was the conversation we were having just now?
about
You're s-
having a conversation.
at some point.
We were
once
having
you
a
all are together.
conversation about having a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Once
it would
Horace gets
probably be
back.
best to hold the conversation either in the mansion or the war room.
Well, yeah, not here, obviously.
Once Horace comes back.
I'm assuming Harith is probably not showing up for the rest of the day, but we'll leave that up to you.
What time did you say? It was like
It's like-
10?
It's like noon right now. It's lunchtime. Maybe 1 p.m. at this point once they've finished eating.
It's one.
She's probably gonna come back in a few hours, but like late afternoon, early evening.
So like 3, 4 p.m. 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah.
So is there anything the rest of you wish to do in the while that transpires? Yeah. I mean, you've got like a little private dining area, which also has probably a little attached lounge area for sitting down, relaxing, and snacks. Of course.
Huh. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm currently like brewing an idea.
Ooh,
Brewing.
a witch's
I'm try-
brew.
Witch's brew.
Hmm.
This
Um,
is a note out of Sissel's book. As
Falk,
an idea.
even
Yes.
or odds?
Even.
All right. I'm not gonna tell you what that roll is for.
Fuck.
Oh.
That's
It's
my
not-
job.
Tom is the DM.
Ooh,
Shit,
rubber.
this is a weird flex. I guess you're the DM now.
I'm
Alright.
I'm doing finger guns at the screen right now. No, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was a very minor. It was basically me decide. It was me leading up something with how Goff's feeling up to the dice.
Okay, cool.
not. It's not like a fucking like I have a big plot plan. I know how to kill the final big bad
scheme.
guy. It's not scheme. It's just I was indecisive, so I had the dice decide for me.
Okay.
Um.
I know he's lying to me.
Don't believe his lies.
Goth has a plot.
A
The
goth
plot is
plot.
that Goff found a gun.
Oh shit!
And that when
Look
the
how
bad
he's
guy
got a
comes out,
gun.
and then when the guy
I'm a healer,
when
but-
the final bad guy comes out, he's just gonna shoot him.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'm a healer, but
Wow, fucking Ganador hasn't seen a gun.
he's got a fucking machine gun. He's just
Shoot
gonna
the
go
gun
crazy.
right in his giant eye, and then he flies. That's it. Can't see if you have a bullet in it.
Goff is during this period of time, he started to clear up a little bit, and I don't know, where's Sissel? Where would Sissel be?
I think Sissa would be at the moment, like, just kind of chilling in or around Moira's hut. Like, she's just kind of napping with Tackle, like, not really asleep, but also just kind of dozing.
Uh,
Yeah, so you find Sissel like around the side of Moira's hut, using Tackle as a giant pillow.
Goff will.
Damn it.
He's not dead or anything. He just knows when someone uses a gun to kill
Well,
somebody
then
else.
it appears in the cloud like
Remember who you are. No, except he says, remember, the bull tax you right.
Remember who you are.
remember. That's not what he sounds like. Shit.
Oh, now is not the time
every-
to use such an item.
Everything the light touches, you can kill with a gun. Always remember this, Goff. And remember, I've always got new things that you can pay me lots of gold for. Don't forget, I need lots of gold.
This is a really good Walden impression. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so you find Sissel outside of Moira's hut.
Patrick is like the king of derailing this D&D.
Yeah.
Like at any given moment, Patrick knows exactly how to just completely send the conversation into a completely unrelated discussion. I find Sissel like using tackle as a pillow.
Yep.
Goff will kind of That's what I want. Not waddle.
Trundle.
Trundle. I don't even know what it looks like.
That's a bad word. Don't use.
I don't even know what that. Goff will. Christ. Goff will find Sissel. And
Saunter?
he'll. I think Saunter's like too sexy for Goff.
Saunter is very.
He'll.
Goff sauntering with all like 9 feet of him.
Holy shit. Okay.
Goff
All right.
Goff will
Doing the T,
lurch.
timeout.
He will lurch over to Sissel, and he'll stop and kind of block out the sun probably and look down at her, and he'll say, "You're looking quite comfortable."
You know. Nothing quite like a big cat for a pillow.
No, there's nothing quite like it.
Mm-mm. Nice and warm. What's up?
How? How do I ask this?
Sissel sits up.
How weird are you feeling today?
Weird how?
Willing to try something weird.
Well, you know me.
Not deadly. Not this time.
I like weird. What do you
Would
have
you
in mind?
indulge? Would you indulge me in something weird?
Sure.
Come with me.
And he'll turn and walk back towards the tree.
I get up and follow Goth.
He will stop at the spot he usually stands to communicate with the tree. And when Sissel gets there, he'll just wait until Sissel catches up with him.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think anything could really come of this, but I thought, feeling sentimental as I always do.
Mel.
Yeah, sorry. My dice tray was slipping.
Oh. And he will put his hand on the tree and he'll say,
Would you try placing your hand on here with mine?
Alright. I place my hand on the tree next to Goth.
and I will try to communicate with the Storm Oak.
Okay. What do you say?
I will just I guess I'll try to greet it. I'll say, but when I talk with it, is it all internally? Do I say it out loud?
It's up to you.
I'll say it out loud for in this instance,
Okay.
and I'll say,
Storm Oak.
Good afternoon, Father.
so,
Daddy.
No!
Sorry.
Don't do that.
Don't.
We just
no.
said Saunter is too
No.
sexy for Goth.
And
No.
Sissel,
I meant
you
to completely.
I'm spraying you with a bottle right now.
No, I meant it completely asexually. I'm sorry.
Sissel, you
Oh,
hear
okay.
you hear the voice as well in your head.
Oh.
This is what I wanted.
Ooh.
Yes. Sorry, that was I I didn't even think that was gonna work.
Sissel just turns to.
And as you hear this voice, the avatar stone that you are holding kind of gently feel like it gets a little warmer.
I pick it out of my pocket and hold it in my other hand.
It's glowing very faintly.
Ah.
I turn to Goth and go, the tree calls you father.
Yes. Well, I planted it after all.
Guess you do kind of have kids now, huh?
You are more than enough.
Don't expect
which
me
I-
to call you dad anytime soon.
No, by which I mean you are enough of a handful. Having children would be too much. I don't think I'm suited. Anyway, Storm Oak, I brought a friend. Can you feel her here?
I can sense her presence, yes.
Hi.
This is Sissel. Sissel
Greetings,
is
Sissel.
one of my dearest friends.
Hi.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Sissel.
Nice to meet you too, Stormok. How are you?
I am well. It is a bit hot today, but the sun is shining.
Yeah, son, pretty good.
Plants, even I guess they can kind of feel temperature.
I mean, the sun
It's a
gives them
magic
life.
tree, Alex.
Okay, okay.
Goff will see Sissel being kind of like unsure, and he'll say,
Well, I brought her here because I wanted you to know. I suppose I wanted there to be just an understanding and appreciation of one another. You see, it is hard to explain, for you know this world. But there was a world we went to that you may not know. I don't know how you could. It was a darker world, a place where you were never born. Things went wrong. But Sizzle, much to my surprise, there was a version of what you could have become. A tree that did not reach its full potential, did not become the Storm Oak, you see. But Sizzle gave it new hope. She gave it life that it had lost. And I just wanted you to know that. I wanted you to know that in another time, another story, Sissel brought what, well, it's hard to explain. And I don't really know what the purposes I'm trying to make here. I really wanted you to know each other.
Yeah, I guess I kind of brought you back to life in another world and stuff. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty tiring, but you know.
I thank you for that.
Yeah, well, you know, no sweat. Well, a lot of sweat actually, but details.
And I ask that as you continue to carry on and grow and flourish, that you think of that other self, that other life, and you hope and you pray that it will continue to grow stronger and not fall to that which would harm it.
I will think on this.
For it's hard to explain, it's far too complicated, but in a way that tree is you and it also is not. But you are linked in my, I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm sorry.
Do not apologize. I enjoy
glad-
listening to you.
I'm glad to know that you are well, and it brings me great joy to speak with you again after what we endured.
and he'll look to Sissel and say,
Is this weird enough for you?
It's pretty weird, not going to lie.
Well, I think with that stone or without or whatever gives you this ability, you can now understand the stone oak as well.
It's kind of cool. You know, it's probably not something I'm going to be doing all of the time, but I can kind of see the appeal.
I didn't know if you would want to speak with it, but I'm not quite sure why I did this.
Well,
I suppose what you did, even with the stone's help, I'm very proud of you. I wanted you to understand, to some weird extent, what life and joy can be brought from such acts of giving. You gave life a chance. And even if we failed them, in the end, they might still have a chance to. What we did and what the energy they carry on might have a chance to bring something back. And you were at the center of it.
And he points at her.
couldn't have done that alone.
Of course not. But yours was the guiding hand.
It won't happen again. Not the tree, but all of that. We won't
No.
fail us.
It won't. I'll be dead before it does.
We are of one mind. Sometimes. Sometimes it happens.
I don't think I could handle sharing your mind.
Oh no, I know you couldn't. I just kind of give him a tap on the elbow.
He looks back to this tree and he says,
I'll speak with you again soon, Stormoak.
and he'll take his hand away. Well, if the tree says anything, he'll wait, but otherwise he'll take it away.
Say, it was good to speak with you. Farewell.
And he'll just kind of rub it a little bit, like an effect, like you would kind of tousle someone's hair because it's bark. It's not really the same, but and he'll take his hand away and he looks around, kind of like at the rest of the stronghold in the courtyard, like eye lines. Is anyone else looking?
Make a perception check.
Ooh. Perception. Goth's perception is good. Tempo's perception is not. That's why I had to double check. 18.
18.
I rolled
nope.
shit. It was a 28, but
Nah, there's no one watching. There's people going in and out of the tavern. No one's really paying attention to you.
Goth kind of looks around just to see if anyone's like looking at them, and then he looks down, and then he, after kind of doing like a coast is clear check, he picks up Sissel in a big hug. And he pulls her really close into his shoulder.
Sissel hugs him back like a fucking. She clings to him with her whole body like a goddamn koala.
Sissel is like a ventriloquist doll in Bob's arm.
And he says very quietly, he says,
I love you. Thank you.
She just hugs him and he's like, you too, big guy.
And he just kind of rubs her back really, really slightly, and then holds it for a little bit longer, and then puts her back down on the ground.
She just kind of she gives him another hug and just sort of like wraps her arms around his waist.
Oh.
Can't even fit halfway around.
Yep. Yep.
He kind of like shakily chuckles and puts one of his hands around her back of her head.
Gigantic hand. She pulls away and just kind of grins. We'll get through this, okay?
I will, and I know. Before we get there, you're gonna unleash a lot of hell.
You know it.
Just try not to kill yourself with that doll.
No. No, I think we have an understanding.
I don't think it's within anyone's control. If you make a wish, if you have to, just. I know I can't stop you. Just.
You don't have to worry about it for now.
For now. But things are going to get a lot worse before they get better.
Well, isn't that always how it is?
And I know that when things look bad, the temptation, the need, will come, as it did. And I think, had you not done that, I don't think things would have gone quite as well. But I yell and I joke and I throw it around, the doll around a lot, but I'm just very scared for you.
Just trust me. I know.
Okay.
But genuinely, just trust me on this one.
I might regret it, but I do trust you.
Thanks. That's all I ask.
It's a lot to ask.
That is true, but you know.
You know, I might be able to lift something heavy or bring someone back from the dead, but I don't think I have quite the strength of Moira Crow.
Ha. She's a very strong woman. Seriously.
She raised you. She's the strongest woman alive. And he kind of smirks and just kind of nudges, like kind of knuckles her shoulder. If it's probably actually kind of hard to do. You're probably you're probably below where his hands
It would just be
fall.
punching her. He'd just be punching
No, he
her.
doesn't punch. No, that's why I said knuckle. Like it's a gentle little nudge with
Yeah.
his like part of his hand. I didn't want to say punch or shove because the Goff doing that to you would be like like getting hit by a fucking bull.
Just half her HP gone.
Yep.
Roll an attack. No.
Cecil just dies.
Yeah.
This is how she dies.
Rip.
Well, I didn't have much more I wanted to say with Sissel, so I guess
Cecil's gonna go back to her nap.
yeah,
Okay.
Goff will just kind of give her a little wave and go back to doing whatever weird, gentle shit he's doing.
Weird, gentle shit.
Weird, gentle shit. That just sounds like Goff in general.
Yeah. Just doing things
God,
very,
boy.
very carefully with giant hands.
With his giant hands.
So
He's collecting seeds.
I think the day wears on a little bit. You all try to kind of recuperate a little bit. Gets a little later in the day. Here, eighth. If you want to find yourselves back at the tavern, maybe around 5 or 6 p.m.
Your eighth comes back and she's changed and she's washed all the blood off and she looks extremely tired. Where is everybody? Are people scattered? Are they all in the tavern?
Cecil's napping with Tackle outside of Moira's hut.
Goff is probably just in the garden or the courtyard somewhere, so he'd probably see her. Unless...
So you would likely, as you come in, see.
I'm gonna go find Verna.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So I assume Verna's probably up in her room.
I'll knock on the door. I won't walk in immediately.
Verna, you hear a knock at your door.
I'll open the door and walk in and kind of look around a little nervously for a minute and I'll look at Verna and I'll pause and I like heave a sigh. No, I'm sorry. I'm probably not the person you were thinking. I don't know if you keep that hammer in here, but if it's in here, I'm going to look at it kind of mistrustfully, and I'm going to look back at Verna. I had something I wanted to talk to you about. In that fight, we were fighting near one another, and you I have trouble remembering everything in the moment, but you basically turned someone into paste with that thing, and I didn't even see what happened. But the next thing I knew, you had turned and you hit me with it. It really fucking hurt, and I was scared, and so I didn't know what to do. I don't have much healing, so I thought I could try and figure out what made you do what you did. So I used modify memory on you. And do you know that there's something else inside of your head? Cuz I didn't modify your memory. Did you know that it endangered us? I tried to speak to you. It looked like you didn't hear me. You were looking straight at me and I thought you were going to kill me. Are you going to keep using it?
Verna, I want to interject here for a moment. That last thing that you just said, you certainly think that in your head, but what comes out of your mouth is, yes, I am.
Hmm.
Ooh.
And as you
Ooh.
stare over at the Justice's gavel, compulsion. You want to pick it up. You want to use it.
I put a gif of my reaction to what you just said in the wiggle. One of my favorite gifs of all time is that fucking gif.
Your eyes looks a little scared. She's thoughtful for a minute because she doesn't really know how to respond to this situation. I don't understand how wielding something dangerous to your friends is pragmatic. Where I come, that's called foolhardy.
I can't believe the dwarvish teenager is lecturing.
She's like, I don't know, I don't remember how old Verna is. She's almost as old as Verna is.
50 or
I
something.
thought
Or 60.
Your eyes like
I don't know.
40 something.
Verna's like 60 or 70 something.
60.
Oh.
She's actually
She would not be
technically
70.
Verna is older than Heraith in terms
Well,
of
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
And
of
in
people
terms
are.
of like aging,
Verna's the second oldest person in the Hearts.
Second?
Yeah, mine was like 100 years old.
Oh right, elf.
Yeah, elves.
elf.
I constantly forget that Oino is like I know she's an elf, but I keep forgetting that she's like 100. That she's like over 100 or 200 years old.
6,900.
That's
Wow.
way more. That's way more years than an elf
That's
lives.
many, yeah, that's like 7 times.
Not even Medici lived that long.
No,
Elf druid, it's fine.
that's true. Shit, that is true. Fuck.
Maybe
Is that how
Yeah.
old Alonzo is?
maybe a lot.
Fuck, how old is Alonzo? Hold on.
Is he 6,900 years old? I don't think he's that old. I don't get the
Uh,
impression he's that old.
What's the actual druid ability?
It was foolhardy. Oh, you said it already. I don't know why I said that again. You already
Oh.
confirmed it. I like saw the question before reading all the chat.
Oh, so fucking druids basically only age a year for every 10
Yeah.
years it passes. So
That's
as an
fucked up.
elf, Alonzo could live to be like 10,000 years old.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Wow.
The whole of recorded history.
Don't monks just stop aging at some point?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I think they can still die from old age, despite
Monks,
stopping
Oh, so it's like
aging.
stopping
monks get the
physically
same
aging.
thing. You can still die of old age, but you can't be aged magically, and you don't suffer any infirmities from old age. And you no longer need food and water either.
Yeah.
Fucked up. You ever just transcend so hard that you no longer need to eat?
Yeah. If you get a 15th, a
Yeah, that's
15th level
called
monk,
depression.
Oh,
you know what's
yeah.
fucked up is that eventually Beauregard's gonna have that.
Fuck,
God.
it is true.
Oh man.
Beauregard's gonna be able to just. She's just gonna be.
She
she's
gets
gonna be.
that
A,
skill and
she's
she's
gonna
just
be.
like,
Beauregard's gonna
nope.
transcend.
Beauregard's gonna be a
transcend
youthful
age.
hot lesbian for the rest of her
Yeah,
life.
she's
Oh
gonna
She's
be
my
never
a
gonna look
she's
any
God.
gonna be a
different.
lesbian.
Bummer. She's
She's
so
gonna.
good.
She's never gonna look any different. She's gonna
She's
look
gonna be a
exactly the same
G-MILF.
until she dies.
I can't get over the fact that she just like something will happen. She's just like dope.
Yeah, I love. She's my favorite.
She is so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for the distraction.
Anyway, yeah, sorry.
I'm the one you fucking attacked. I'm the one you could have fucking killed. I don't know about you, but I've done some stupid shit, but at least I've never hurt anyone. If you keep using that thing, one day you will. There'll be someone who can't just fix you. Fix whatever's in your head that makes you think that way. We have enough on our plate trying to kill us. I don't want you to be trying to kill us too, just because you're deciding this is something you should do when you know that you shouldn't. This is the fucking eyes emoji.
If it's red drawing it, it absolutely is.
Pensive cowboy.
Shit, I was gonna draw it.
No.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. Ooh. Ooh.
Mm.
Does anyone have some ice?
expect this.
For a second, Hiraeth looks like she's been physically slapped, and then she goes blank.
Verna, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please? Verna, you stand up from wherever you're sitting, and your eyes just go dark.
Oh my god.
And you walk on over to the justice's gavel, and you pick it up, and you start walking toward Hiraeth.
What the fuck? I just came back! My food just came! What the fuck?
I'm trying to remember what spells I've cast.
First I
I
saw
can't
Pentagram.
It's still the same day.
Oh
Did I
shit.
use my contingency today?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's still the
First-
same day as when you guys traversed up the Pilgrim's Path and everything. And you use your
I'm going to cast Hold Person.
Oh my god.
Verna, make another wisdom saving for me, please.
Hey, like, are they
Motherfucker!
Are they making a commotion?
There, this is Verna's room. I don't know.
Make an
Depends how
attack roll
close-
for me, please, as well as you now rush at Hiraeth, swing the justice's gavel.
I mean, now that
Oh my god, oh my god!
now that Verna is running, do I hear that clang of her armor?
You yeah. Where are you, Mido?
I was in the Snapdragon.
I know, but this is upstairs in the apartment.
This is
Oh.
a separate
Right,
building.
but it's still stairs, like above,
It's like 3
right?
stories up. I don't know if you're gonna hear it.
Oh yeah, Verna's in like a.
Can I roll something to see if I hear it? Well,
I mean,
think
how
you're
big
not-
is this place? You can usually hear when there's an altercation happening in a building.
Well,
Especially if I'm
aren't
losing,
the-
like,
aren't our rooms in a
1/6 of my
separate
health.
aren't our rooms in a separate building from the
oh,
tavern?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they
Oh,
are.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
the
thinking it was upstairs, like directly.
No.
Like we're living above a bar, like how I met your mother.
Hiraeth, what are you doing? As the justice's gavel just impacts with your side, and you just hear a rib snap.
I land on my ass and cough up blood, and I look up at Verna,
She is
and I
standing.
disappear. I cast Dimension Door.
Okay. So you just disappear in just a puff of smoke. Where do you appear?
In the outside.
Okay. So, Sissel and Goff, you suddenly see in a puff of smoke Hiraeth just appear in the middle of the courtyard, coughing up blood and just doubled over.
What the fuck? Where did you go?
What happened?
I want to talk to Verna.
Wait.
Did she do this?
That
Wha-
weapon, you know it's cursed, right?
Yeah.
Well, she hurt me in the last battle, and I tried to confront her about it, and
She
I
hit
wiped the
you
blood
again?
from my. Yeah, she probably would have done it again. I just escaped.
Come here.
I'll walk over to Hiraeth and take a look at the damage.
It's
I don't know if I need to roll.
yeah. Make a medicine check.
17.
17. She has a broken rib.
Oof.
Ooh.
Hold
Like
still.
Hiraeth, you're having a hard time like breathing and everything. It's just like short-winded.
It'll hurt for a moment.
And Goff will place his hand over the spot, and I will cast Cure Wounds. Do I have to cast it at a higher level than first to repair the rib?
No.
Okay,
It's
I'll
healing
whatever.
Healing magic in D&D is just like.
Well, I know, but I just didn't know if there was like a certain amount that I needed to do.
No,
for it to,
I'm
like,
just saying. The
narratively
rib is cracked
count.
I'm just saying the rib is cracked for flavor. Like,
Well, right, but I want to make sure. I'm
damage is
doing
an
it-
abstraction. It's.
I
Whatever.
know. I was just asking based on what you thought I should do.
No.
Okay, so I'll cast it at second level.
Okay.
And just to make sure that everything is tip top in the internal organ section and the skeleton section of Haraith's body. So I will heal Haraith for. That's not a very good roll. 9 HP. No, I'm sorry, plus 5. 14 HP.
14 HP.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So you feel that wound knit up your rib, kind of like snaps back into place. It hurts
Ooh.
for a moment. but now you feel hale and healthy again. It's around that time that you just hear a slam from the opposite end of the compound, and you see the door to the apartment complex open, and Verna is standing in the doorway, and she starts charging across the courtyard at you with the Justice's gavel raised.
Oh boy.
Can I intercept?
You can certainly try.
Okay, now can I hear it?
Yes, you can. You
Okay.
look out the window, Fido, and you just see Verna charging with the Justice's gavel toward Hiraeth.
Oh shit! I run like the
Mona.
on sub on sale.
For a stop.
Would Ellen here? Would
Where's Ellen?
where are the kids?
Outside.
Yo,
So
we're
you
outside.
actually.
Oh, God.
So you're like.
Oh, so there's like onlookers. This is not just us.
We are having
Yeah.
our drama out in the open. It is
I was
messy.
just gonna say. Okay.
I sprint outside.
Your guards immediately start running up as well, like this confused look on their face, like what the hell is going on?
I'm just gonna say, okay, kids, get inside. Keep your weapons on you.
They quickly run inside the tavern. You see a number of other patrons doing the same as they see this heavily armed woman running across the courtyard.
As soon as I see Verna, or I get outside and see Verna, I'm gonna try and run up to her and grab her.
Okay. You rush up and give me a athletics check, contested by Verna's athletics.
All right.
So both of you roll contesting athletics checks, please.
Oh.
Fuck! Roll worse than me.
Oh. You try to grab onto Verna in an attempt to grapple her, and she ducks over your arms and then swings the gavel to the side and just doesn't go in for like a full. Well, okay. I was gonna say, so she just like swings the gavel around and slams you in the side, and then just keeps running toward her. You take 20 points of.
Do I have time to do
Yes.
something before do I have time to cast something before she gets within range of me?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna wait. Let me check something. I need there's a specific difference between two different spells. I need to double check which one's which. Okay, that's
1v6.
All mid.
At this point, having seen Verna attack
Okay.
Fido, your 4 guards are also moving to intercept.
I will I'm gonna hold my hand back, hold my hand out towards the guards and be like, wait, and then as I do that, I'm going to a pattern of my tattoos, like a certain series, are going to light up. A very frequently used one, and I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to get into like wrestler pose and get ready to try and like stop her.
Okay. All
Like
right.
a matador.
So as Verna comes into range, I want you both to roll initiatives to see who goes first.
Oh, I thought we were just doing contested athletics checks. Okay.
Well, we will in a second, but like at this point, like Verna's going to be coming into range. I want to just do like a very
Oh,
brief
fuck.
initiative
I
thing.
mean, I don't unless I rolled 20. No. Oh, I rolled 19. It's the same.
That's the
Are we
higher
still-
dex.
Are we all
Probably-
rolling initiative?
Probably Verna. Does Verna have any dex
No, this is just
modifier
for
at all?
Goff and.
Then Verna goes.
Okay, so Verna making an attack roll on Goff, as you're just hearing the judge's voice. Slaughter them all.
The first two miss.
Yep. So the third hits. You take 16 points of damage. I don't know how much of that is necrotic and how much of that is bludgeoning.
It doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't
I don't
matter.
have a resistance, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Uh,
And you are free to go at this point. What do you wish to do?
grapple?
Okay. Contested athletics checks, please.
Okay. Damn it!
Wow.
Even with my wait, hold on. What's my modifier?
I don't know. What is your
modifier? Is +3. And it's athletics. Oh, athletics.
Yeah.
Way higher.
Yeah.
Then I have a 29.
Okay.
With my guidance. With guidance.
With guidance. Okay. So you.
I was thinking about the wrong numbers.
So as you take the final strike from the Justice's gavel, you grab the handle of the maul and then basically rush forward under Verna's grasp, and then just get her in a big bear hug. And you hold her there. She's not restrained, so she can still attack you. But I'll give this an opportunity for everybody else to jump in and do something if you want.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
I just as I'm grab her, I just what are you doing? Think! Stop!
You look into her eyes, Goff, and they are pitch black. Like there's no whites in any of her eyes.
Oh.
Okay, well then I'm gonna do something when I have a turn again.
Okay.
Remember that is allowed.
So I'm gonna allow everybody else to jump in and do something, if you wish.
Well, Goff's
I'm gonna
holding
try to-
Verna, so...
I want to try to get, like, since she's kind of restrained, I'm going to try to, like, wrench the hammer away from her, and, like, throw it to the ground or something, if possible.
Okay. Do you have any like special abilities that allow you to disarm, or are you just
No.
straight athletics contest to try
I
to
think
pull it
the
out?
I
one
don't
with
have
the
anything
ability to
special.
disarm
I don't
is
have
possessed.
I don't
Let me
have
do
like
that.
heat metal anymore.
Let me do that. I'll do it. I'll grab the hammer.
Oh.
Okay. Do you want to both try to do it?
Yeah, we can both.
Or I
do it.
can.
It'll be like
I have decent athletics. I have expertise. So.
it'll be like
Okay.
the Avengers trying to take off Thanos' big oven.
You should have gone for the head. Okay, I'll let Hiraeth, because Alex said they were going to do something first, so I'll let Hiraeth, you do a contested athletics check with
27.
27.
Ooh.
Verna, please give me an athletics check.
Ooh.
So you
Ooh.
wrench the Justice Gavel out of Verna's hands. Her eyes are still clouded over in black, and she is now looking. She looks like she's now trying to reach for it and
I'm
scramble out
gonna
of
like
Goth's
kick it
grasp.
away. Well, it's probably really heavy. Never mind. That would hurt my foot.
Clang.
I'm just gonna kind of like push it away. Oh god.
Oh my god, Verna!
She's just throwing her hands. Okay, wait. How is Verna doing that much damage with a fist? No,
That's not how fist weapons.
it would
like,
only be one damage for every hit.
Yeah, it would only be one damage. You don't roll
I was just saying,
extra. if
Jesus
it's-
God,
Christ.
that's if you're a monk, but.
Yeah. So that's. Oh, okay. I was
So
like,
Just
Verna is-
imagining like
Verna
Verna
is
coming at me with like a windmill
flailing
little
her arms at you,
punch.
Goth, and slamming her fists against your chest in this futile
Verna
effort.
fists ferociously.
And she is screaming, almost like she's in pain.
I'm just gonna
Goff, do you have
hold-
anything for curses? Anything
Well,
for possession? Anything?
I mean, I was gonna do something, but I don't know if it's my turn yet. I just did something, so it's whenever Falco
I'm
lets
gonna
me
hit her
go.
in the head. I'm gonna knock her in the back of the head.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
With a big cartoon mallet that.
Once everyone else
I
is
don't
gone,
think
I-
it hits.
No. Oh, that one won't.
That hits.
That's
I
what
mean,
the blunt.
This is
is.
unfortunately the thing about D&D is like the damage. They have hit points, so you gotta have to go through it.
That's a lot of hit points.
There's
to
no
go
like
through.
knocking her out kind of thing.
There's no PvP rules. Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, there could be
So
some.
yeah,
kind of
that second one definitely hits if you roll the damage on that.
I'm not rolling fire on Verna.
Okay.
I did not activate that.
All right.
I'm just whacking her over the back of her head.
Just over and over.
So Verna, you don't even feel this. Like you are like completely, from your own consciousness, you are just completely just out for the count.
That's good to hear.
So you don't know anything that's going on right now.
I
I'm
mean, I'm
just
sure
gonna-
Goff can do something. Let's
Well,
just say it's his turn.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
go
Ellen,
around.
Ellen
Unless
has an arrow in her bow, but she's like, "Wait, I don't want it."
okay.
I'm
Alright.
just standing by. I'm holding something in case Verna gets free.
Okay.
As am I.
Goff, what do you want to do?
Oh. This is specifically noted. Okay. I'm going to hold. How am I holding Verna?
You're
holding her-
grappling her.
Big old bear
I'm,
hug.
I'm,
Big ol' bear
I'm
hug.
holding in her hug, like pressed,
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
facing me or facing away from me.
Probably
Facing
away
you.
from. Oh, okay. I don't know
Okay.
how I got that weapon.
You just pulled it out from under.
I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna press my arms into her. This is a very different bear hug that was happening shortly ago. with a
Yeah, it
different-
was.
This is God.
Real weird.
And Goff is gonna, and he's gonna close his eye and he's gonna squeeze tighter and then grabbing both of his elbows, and he's like digging into his own skin, trying to make sure she doesn't move, and he's going to like a lot of tattoos over one side of his body are going to light up, and he is going to take one hand up and put it on the back of her head, and he's going to cast Greater Restoration.
Greater Restoration. Okay.
And I will note that it can affect one curse, including the target's attunement to a cursed magic item.
Yep. Okay.
Ooh.
It's
So,
specifically noted in the details, which I love.
so
This is exactly what we're
happens.
talking about.
As soon as you cast Greater Restoration and the restorative magics flow in his body, she immediately stops struggling against you. The blackness falls from her eyes. Verna, the voice of the judge is no longer in her head, so unattuned from the weapon.
Oh, thank God.
I will, after doing that, I will kind of lean back a little bit and look down at her face.
She looks dazed and confused, I would say.
Verna,
Verna, at
I'll
this
try
point,
to
there's like
try
a
to look-
ringing in your ears, Verna, and suddenly come back to like focus, and you see that you're in this bear hug with Goff, and he is shouting at you.
Well, he's not shouting if he's right in
Well,
front of
he's
her,
like
but yeah, he's
saying-
like
talking
saying
to
your he's not screaming
Saying
right
your
into her
name.
face.
Just like military camp.
Yeah, when you're when you're supervising officers holding you a bear hug and yelling your name into your face. Weird exercises.
That's what goes on there, right? That's how it works.
Verna, are you all right? Are you there? Is it you?
Goff will kind of take a beat for a second and then realize he's still holding her really tight, and then he'll be like,
Yes.
and he'll relinquish the grasp he has on her. Step back, and where's the hammer?
It's Harriet kicked it off to the side, or moved it off to the side a little bit. It's just lying in the center of the yard right now.
Goff will step. He will kind of move and kind of put himself between the hammer and Verna, just kind of
You don't remember a thing, Verna.
subconsciously.
Verna, you remember talking to Hiraeth and saying something in response to her, and then the next thing you know, you were here, and Goff is holding you. Like, that's all you remember.
How many people are watching us right now?
What's that?
How many people are watching us right now?
At least 4.
There's a
No.
total
like,
silence.
A bunch of
courtyard
people
right
in the tavern.
your 4 guards are basically in like a pincer maneuver, getting ready, like all around you. The kids are actually watching from the window in the tavern, as are a number of just regular patrons. You see Holg also staring out the window. You see some people over by the tree who are watching. You see Moira standing in the door of her cabin with Arya.
I'm just
I'll
kind of wave at the onlookers in the town and say, "Not to worry, we're just doing some emergency training exercises."
Make a deception check.
Okay.
How's your deception, Sissel?
Okay. It's that's what's my deception? Deception is that's actually pretty good. That's a 20, but not
Whoa!
natural.
Whoa, okay.
Cool.
I rolled a 14.
Nice.
Well, the
He's
blue
right.
heart said it, so it must be true.
You see the patrons go back to their drinking or eating. The ones who are near the tree go back to just kind of relaxing and meditating and just sort of turning away from the scene. Your guards don't buy this shit.
Yeah. Sorry to
They know
startle
better.
you. We
What-
probably should have
what's-
warned ahead of time.
What's the I look at Dagglear. Is he here? He's here,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I look at Dagglear and I just quietly say,
It's fine. Thank you.
You sure? You don't need any help?
Yes. We've got it.
I've forgotten this guy's voice, but
"It's fine,
Yeah.
Gruff.
That's close.
I did
He's
too.
a paladin. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a big man."
that was more like Hogan. I don't remember this guy's voice. Anyway, He nods and he waves off the rest of the guard, and they go back to their duties. Moira's still standing in the hut, the doorway, looking concerned.
I
mean,
just kind of give her a shrug and just kind of a like a
a panic shrug, mild panic.
you know the clenched face emoji when you just look when you look at
Oh
somebody
yeah,
and you're like
the really awkward, like teeth baring, like
yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of makes that face.
I can see it. He's just like shrugging and doing that, like
Ooh.
Moira just sort of like sighs and holds her head in her hand and walks back inside.
Goff will look back to Verna. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the situation.
yeah.
That's the size of it.
You do not remember.
I remember what you said well enough.
Is that what you call this? Talking.
Don't call me an expert or anything, but it looks from here to me that you were not yourself for a little bit.
No.
That's not what I heard. You said that you were going to use it. And you did! Broke my fucking rib.
You very much
You
were
hurt my
using it.
toe.
And me.
Do I have any like broken anything or?
You just a
You're
little winded. God, this is an awful emoji I just drew.
Where?
Oh, foul.
Trying to be the
Aw.
sob emoji, and I just fucked up
Aww,
entirely. I don't know how to draw.
I like it.
It
I mean,
looks
that's,
like
that's pretty much. I love how like small it is on the face. Actually, it's very effective.
no, stop.
Patrick!
It wasn't a training exercise. You had something. You were possessed. It was that damn gavel.
Lauren.
No, hold on, I'm not done.
Oh, in the
No, Goff said that quietly.
What the fuck? It's a Squidward.
Yeah. People used to draw penises on the
No!
walls,
Red, why?
and I would turn it into Squidward.
Red, why?
Red, why?
I tried to
Okay.
draw it with only one line.
It's no.
Why is
Okay.
Okay, anyway, let's.
Would you rather we discuss this somewhere else? Or do you not want to
Oh,
discuss it
fuck.
at all?
Oh, you should probably not be in front of everyone.
I agree with that.
I will clarify. When Goff said that, he was not saying it like loud enough for a bunch of people to hear it. He was saying it too very,
Yeah,
very
we're
closely.
speaking in a conversational sense, and everybody else is very far away.
Yeah, but anyway,
Well, I suppose now is as good a time as ever to talk about what we need to talk about. what just happened and what we need to do next. So why don't we carry on to the ballroom?
I should probably not leave that lying out in the middle of the lawn, and I point at the
seems
gavel.
like a good idea.
Oh yes, let's take that away.
Goff will. Do I know if picking it up while not attuned will do anything to me.
It won't do anything to you.
Goff will stand over and look down at it, and he will just sigh, and he will lean down and hesitate before touching it, and then he'll pick it up.
Okay.
And he'll take. He'll put it. He'll pull out some kind of like cloth and wrap it up, and then he'll put it in the bag.
Okay. No problem. Easily done.
Wait, are we in the war room now, or are you saying this outside? Is the conversation happening? Okay.
Okay. So you all head down to the war room. Into your anti-magic field warp. Away from prying eyes and ears.
Ideally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is. The cost of its power has come to a head now. And I'm sorry. I should have cleansed you of its power, of its hold sooner. Didn't seem like it was giving you so much trouble until today. Well, that was also today, yes. Seems like it was another time, but
It's not how curses work.
Well, you know, sometimes you can't be the one to change a curse.
Well,
It's not like you know on you or anything.
it probably requires, I don't know, something specific and magical. I'm not. I'm far from the expert on that. Is
if a number of experienced clerics all working together were unable to cleanse the curse of this weapon, it must require someone's mighty power.
Would I have any idea as to what might be required to cleanse it, or did I just have like no clue?
I would say make a religion check, because that's more religion than Arcana.
Oh yeah.
Can I also
Why
think
do
about
I
it?
have Apparently, I am proficient in religion.
Sure,
That's
why not?
very not
What the-
Sissel in character, but okay.
When did that happen?
I think that
Uh,
comes from my background. I think
can
that's
I-
a
can I-
habit
Oh,
thing.
Can I
yeah,
also
that comes
can I also
from,
make a religion
Hermit.
check? Hello?
Huh?
What? I'm sorry.
Can I also make a religion check? Both
We'll
talking about it?
say I mean, you're not talking like. Sissel was thinking this, so I would say
I-
Sissel first.
I can. Well, can I assist, or I guess, or I don't know.
No, this is more like a thinking exercise. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a
thinking.
14 plus 7.
What the
Wow.
fuck?
I know. I don't
Whoa.
understand how this is happening.
Big
But
brain
anyway,
on
that's a
Sissel.
21.
21. So, I mean, you don't know a whole lot about this specific weapon. You don't know the origin of this weapon, the origin of its curse. But you do know typically when it comes to lifting curses, it usually requires some sort of holy or divine intervention.
Looks like goth.
From the wielder, from the wielder's like own faith and belief.
Oh, fuck!
I mean, well, actually, I might have been
Shit.
wrong. I mean, you know, I'm not super well versed in curses. This is really more of like a divine magic thing, but if you are able to fix it, that would have to be from like some sort of like holy god or something.
Oh, aren't you a paladin now? Oh wait,
yeah.
do I know the word paladin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, aren't you a
We've
paladin?
met a bunch of them.
No, I mean like, is that like an in-game,
Yes.
like
Yeah, yeah.
in-world thing?
Yes.
yeah,
You've
yes.
met paladins before. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. No, I mean like, I
There's
don't
a
think
whole-
Ellen
there's
would
a-
call herself a, like, in terms of
Right, but you know you have met paladins of the hand. They're an actual.
they're an actual like order.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're a paladin now, aren't you? Can't you? Do you think cleanse it that way?
Hmm. It's not that simple. The power of a deity, a god, needed to cleanse a weapon like this. This is more than just a simple spell could suffice for.
Is that
It
like
is,
what
and,
you
and
do?
Goff turns to Verna and he says, as he says the rest of this, and he says, "It's not about being good enough. It's not about being just or noble enough. You have more than enough of that in spades. It's not about if you're worthy enough. Sometimes, even when you give everything you have to a god and you call on them in a moment of need, it may not always work. The gods live a different life than us. They live, if it could even be called that, a life. It is an existence beyond our comprehension or understanding, working in ways that we could not fathom or even guess at. Whether they decide to step in or speak with us is not guaranteed. I am wholly devoted to Eldath, but I know that there is a chance that should I call to her, when all else seems unable to work, there's a chance she may not come. She has much more than just me to worry about. You didn't do anything. You are not unworthy, Verna. It is just something simply beyond us mortals. It's not in our control. You want to leave already? We have a lot more to talk about. You sure you don't want to stay? Okay.
See Verna walk out of the war room and shut the door behind her.
Well, that could have gone worse.
I don't
Could have
really
gone
get the
much
feeling
worse.
she counts herself among us.
Well,
Probably.
No. No, it probably didn't.
Well, thing for it, I guess. What do we do
I'm
next?
sorry. Sorry, look at what Patrick drew. It's like when he was in the dream.
Oh yeah.
hope fear she doesn't understand that we're trying to help her, not ostracize her.
I hope so.
It's not. I mean, maybe picking up a cursed weapon and connecting yourself to it was not the most responsible decision, but it's not her fault that she fell victim to its power. I was guilty of as much. Thought I could keep picking up the Scion's pieces and not be affected. And look what happened.
Well, nobody's perfect. Besides, it wasn't really your fault. Or at least it
I'm
wasn't
still not
something
sure
that you
that
could have predicted.
I suppose you're right, but I should have been careful. I figured that they were each individually weak enough that they wouldn't affect me.
I mean, they didn't at first. So,
We should not be walking away from each other right now. We should be standing close.
Sorry.
what? Why?
Why are you
Why?
sorry?
Because it's like, look at my non-existent watch. No,
A
I'm
gesture which
talking.
might.
I'm talking
Oh.
about earlier.
Oh, no. You need the time. We all need the time. I mean,
I think so, yeah.
It's just something I've always kind of done, and I just wanted to be alone. But I probably should have sucked it up.
Being
Oh.
alone is not something to apologize for.
we all needed to be
I-
alone after that.
Needing some time to yourself. Definitely something. Right.
We all just watched ourselves die. In each other's arms apart. I wouldn't blame any of you for the way you reacted to that.
It's, not exactly an everyday occurrence.
No.
We
Nor would it be something I'd want to be an everyday occurrence.
Yeah, let's hope not. We have to work really
won't
hard
be.
so that we don't ever have to deal with that again.
No, this isn't right.
What isn't?
Talking about this now.
But
What? Should we wait more?
Erna's not here.
No.
you gonna go drag her back?
Don't recommend it.
Because I mean, I can try and
No.
do it, but I don't think you'd get very good results.
Let's wait until she's ready.
Say so.
No, it's not. Erna Asim is like the White Wall. Very hard to overcome. I don't think any of us are the right person to talk to Verna. Well, she seems to like you, Alan. But
And Meadow.
I feel like it's fairly obvious that whatever shit you guys got going on is complicated.
I have no words to touch upon whatever is relationship that you two have between each other.
I like what the what, And I'm like doing that thing with my hands, like, yeah, come on.
You know.
Yeah,
But
you
let's be
know.
fine, Maito. For your sake, I will clarify what I meant. I think that of all the people in here, the person she's least likely to immediately shut out from, for whatever reason, might be Ellen. But we all have our ways, our connections. I am going to go talk to Verna. Whoever wishes to follow, they may. But I want to speak to her. I don't think that any more of our meetings or conversations about our lives, what comes next, I don't think anyone should be absent if we have a choice. The only one missing right now should be Roscoe, because he wasn't there. He's involved in something important to him. Goff is going to just kind of nod and be like, well, I'm likely going to come back empty-handed, and everyone's going to be very angry with me, or at least frustrated. But I'm going to try to find her, and I'm going to step out and try and look for Verna.
Okay. Verna, where did you go?
Can I come?
Yeah, he said anyone who could follow can follow him.
Yeah, I'm following.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well then,
Oh.
I mean, with the amount of time that it
Oh.
took for us to talk about that, she's probably already long gone. All right, well then, if that's the case, Goff would probably walk outside and look around and
You'd
check
look
and
ar-
knock on
you'd
her
look ar-
door, and like he would
I
go
mean,
into all the
you
places.
look around, and your one of your guards would probably, like, if you asked one of your guards, they probably
Oh.
pointed out that Verna left.
Oh, then Goff will kind of like slump his shoulders a little bit and then look back at Maya and say, "Oh well, all right. Do you think we should fall?" Did he say that she left or that she went to the academy?
She left.
Okay.
I mean, they wouldn't know unless they.
They
They
wouldn't
wouldn't know. She
Right.
probably didn't say anything to them.
Then he'll say, I guess we weren't going to be able to
Would
find.
I feel like there's two places that Verna goes.
Is the academy one of them?
I don't know.
You
I
know
mean, the
what?
academy is literally a building dedicated to magic, which Verna
That's
doesn't
true.
like.
Yeah.
so like, that's why I'm
That's true.
questioning if you would think she would go to the
That's
academy.
why that's why I was thinking, like, yeah, she probably wouldn't know. If
I
it was
think-
like the officers.
I think normally
The
Verna goes to
barrack?
like her military office.
That's
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean,
usually
yeah.
where she goes.
We can check for her there, but
Do you want to go look?
Or if there's
Yes.
like a temple to in Arcadia.
yeah, but we wouldn't know she would go there.
I mean, we know
If-
she's.
Yeah, but we don't know how.
You know, if Verna is leaving this, if she's leaving the Snapdragon, I think it's best
Maybe
we
it's
just wait.
Time.
I think that's
Yeah.
enough. That is enough of a push back towards us to say that we have no choice but to let her be. I thought I would catch her, but
What's our guess?
I don't think she wants to hear any pep talks from me anyway.
I can help
Goff
you find
will-
her.
No, it's fine.
Are you?
I don't think Sissel said she was there, but.
Oh wait,
For
no,
the-
yep, I'm not.
Sissel-
I
Sissel
thought you
just-
were still in the
material
world.
around.
I'm just.
She just slinks out. She just slinks out from behind some like Mido's armor, and she's
Sissel
like, "I can help you."
materializes. Just kidding. I'm
You-
not there.
She just comes up. She's like, "Do you want to see something strange?"
Oh my god.
You guys hear something? That's
Please tell
weird,
me
'cause-
someone watched Freakazoid and remembers that fucking
Yes,
part.
I do.
Okay,
I
thank
fucking
you.
love Freak.
Get out of here, Jeepers! Jeesh! You big creep!
Hey.
Get out of here!
Cut it out.
Hey, cut it out. Oscar, have you ever got married? No, I like meat too much.
I love Cosgrove
You know
so
you can
much.
you can get married and still keep eating a lot of meat.
Huh.
Huh. I didn't know that.
I
fucking love that stupid
Freakazoid
show.
so much.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
That's me.
complete.
That's me.
Anyway,
derail. Okay, we've had so many derails during this entire.
This has
like,
been a real goof session. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
Goff will just kind
Trauma
of.
and goofs.
It's
Yeah.
how we
Got-
cope.
And we're coping.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of coping.
Some
Roller
people do
coaster.
goofs to
a roller
cope.
coaster.
I
Some
definitely
people
do.
Goff
goof.
will just kind of pat Mido's pauldron, or I don't know if she's wearing her full armor or not, but he'll pat her shoulder and
She absolutely was, yeah. She wore her full armor to sleep.
It sounds
And-
uncomfortable.
did she take a bath in it too? Jeez.
No, she took a bath in it and then put it back on.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, what are y'all
That's-
doing?
Goff will pat her shoulder and then just kind of
I'm kidding.
dejectedly walk back towards the Snapdragon and meet back up with everybody else, I guess.
Okay.
And so so basically you watch Goff leave and then come back like less than a minute later. Or like a minute later, and he's just like, she's out of the Snapdragon. She went to the academy. That we don't know that. She just left and she's in the city somewhere. It's-
She's somewhere.
Well,
It's fine. She'll come back. I
But I
know she will.
I think we shouldn't have a conversation this again without her. What else we want to go looking for, I guess.
Oh my god.
Thanks for the speedrun strat.
The half press A strat.
Ellen opens her
Goff.
eyes. Actually,
Goff puts down his fucking iPhone and he's like, I just checked the game facts. She's at the academy.
it says here that Ultimate Gamer 69 has done this speed
Okay,
run.
and
It says Iniwasha XXX69.
for fuck's sake. all right.
Okay.
Doing a big timeout tea with my hands right now. In real life.
that's fair.
So
Okay.
what do we want to do?
Can we go to bed?
What time is
It's
it?
like
It's
early
like 6 or 7 p.m.
afternoon.
Okay, but like we were just running around for 2 days, covered in guts and shit.
I don't want time
Why?
travel lag.
I don't know what that means, but yes,
You know, when you travel through time and then
No,
there's,
I
like...
don't. Mido's like folding her arms and looking at Ellen like, hello?
I don't want my sleep schedule to be messed up.
Take a nap.
But
I
that's
suppose.
dangerous.
I mean,
Yeah.
you want me to find her, I can find her.
If we want to talk to her right now, then we could
I
do
think
that.
we should.
Wait, are we all in the same room again?
Yeah.
Assuming
Ex-
since
You're
you
in a
came
war room.
back.
Yes.
I feel like pursuing her might only make it worse.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing I get. Let's give her space.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I know.
Well, let's just appreciate what they gave us for the rest of the evening.
Oh,
$1 million.
No.
what's a dollar?
What's the
That
dollar?
was not in character.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So what are the rest of y'all doing with the rest of your evening? I know Verna is at the academy. Assuming there's something specific you want to do there. In the meantime, what are the rest of you doing?
I would
Okay.
like to resume my nap.
Sure. Verna, that's easy enough. Give me. Man, I wish it was like a book reading check, but I guess that's intelligence. I don't know.
Could it be like an investigation?
Yeah, investigation. That's a good one. Give me an investigation check. Okay. You know, the academy's library is easy enough to use, so it wasn't really a high DC. But
They use the Dewey Decimal System.
For
Shut up,
curses
Lord.
in general, you don't find anything specific about this curse or this weapon, but you do know as far as cursed relics or anything that to remove a curse you would need similar kind of just reinforcing what Sis said, um, but that typically someone who has like a like who follows the divine anyway, like a cleric or paladin, that kind of breaking of a curse would come from uh, their own resolve and faith, basically. So you kind of get the idea that one potential avenue is to just really kind of think about the deity that you follow, what that relationship means to you, um, and what you hope to get out of that relationship.
Bible study.
We're all children of Jesus.
Kumbaya, my lord.
Thank you so much.
And typically deities will bestow favor upon their faithful and their followers if they prove themselves. And that might be one key. So that's what you find. What are the rest of you doing with your evening?
Napping.
Okay, you're napping.
Is it or is Elise still like out and about?
He's probably gone up to his room.
Oh, okay.
He's probably gone up to like Ellen's apartment.
Right.
Basically.
Okay. Well, if he's not out in the courtyard, then never mind.
Okay. I mean, it's late. It's probably like 8. It's the sun's gone down.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's
Oh, the
like.
sun gone down?
Thanks, Lauren.
Then Goff will. Ow! Random body pain. Ow! What's
Oh, I
happening?
hate it
Am I
when that
dying?
happens.
Yeah.
Everyone's having
Welcome
a
to getting old. That's me all the
fucking
time.
day.
Hold on. Okay.
I feel it.
I need to stand up. What's happening? What will I do?
You're
Oh,
looking to do something with your time. It's dark out.
well, I've already done like a bunch of Goff roleplay moments, so I don't want to hog up too much more time. But
Okay.
He'll just spend time tending to the stuff around the tree.
Okay.
And
You tend to the garden.
kind of sitting and looking at the glowing little bulbs and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Hiraeth, Sissel, Ellen,
Hanging.
just hanging, just trying to decompress after that harrowing,
Yeah.
traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Putting
We're
everyone to
probably
bed.
coping with our new trauma by like telling stupid jokes that aren't really appropriate for the time
Yeah.
situation. And just like passing time. It's gotten later, so probably eat something.
Yeah.
No.
So
Okay.
just kind of lounging and sipping some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds right.
So I'll say that probably the day wears on, gets into the wee hours. The tavern's clientele starts winding down as people start going home. The stronghold grows quiet. Verna, do you ever come back? Do you intend to come back to the Snapdragon at any point? Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh, I knew he was gonna say no, but it still hurts.
Yep. Okay. So what? I guess you just go and head to the
Barracks.
the barracks over at the HQ. Pull up for the night. The rest of you get a full night's sleep as well, and try to just sleep through all of the complex feelings that you're experiencing right now, and you just trying to figure out how to cope with everything that you've witnessed and what you need to focus on going forward as things seem to be heading in a certain direction now. Sun comes up the next morning. Don't forget to refill all your points.
Yay!
Mito specifically, remember to give yourself back 53 permanent HP because you got reduced from that harm spell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you should be at
No,
like
I wrote it down.
133.
I remember I wrote it down. I did.
Yeah, you should be at 133.
Yeah, I put it in the box bar 3 so I wouldn't forget.
Cool.
Nice.
Fuck! I just copied it. I
The-
copied 133, and then I was gonna paste it over the 80, and then I copied the 80. So.
Oh,
Whoops.
But it's
All
okay. I remembered.
All right, so you got all your. Everyone's full up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a cooler day today.
Shit.
It's a bit of a cooler day today. It seems like the heat wave is probably a little bit. It's actually kind of foggy.
Is it like fall or summer?
It's summer.
Okay.
I got my hat
Hat
on
on
back.
backwards.
and a fucking party.
Ooh, I almost hit my.
Can you
neck
ever?
there.
Can you put a cowboy hat on backwards?
Yes.
Technically. I also put it on
Big old
sideways.
butt cowboys.
That's true. That's true. You can put it on. Got my hat on sideways, and I'm here to fucking root
Party, and then I hit
shooting.
my head on the bottom of my horse.
Yeah, that's how it
Well,
works.
it's
Okay.
summer. I got my hat
So
on
it
sideways,
is-
and I'm here to fucking mosey.
Okay, so it is the following. What are the rest? What are y'all doing?
I'm gonna find everybody. I'm gonna gather them
Okay.
in the war room.
Okay. So everyone's gonna be there except Verna, who is still at the academy. 'Cause I don't know if Verna's coming back.
I want you to know for flavor purposes, Mito has like got her feet up on the table, like her boots up, and she's like folding her arms and leaning back in the chair. And
I mean, I just assume she's always doing that.
okay, good.
Okay. I officially call into order the society for making Verna realize that she is still our friend.
Garrett's like leaned back in her chair and her arms are crossed and she doesn't look interested.
So,
I lean in. I sit down. I like put my legs down.
Oh,
Mito is just a
What
personification
the
of the eyes
fuck is
emoji.
happening with this session?
I don't know.
What?
This session is so
We're
wild. Okay.
all. This is just how people deal with
Trauma.
trauma.
That's fine.
Mito leans in. If she
We're
had a
being avoidant.
if she had a briefcase, she'd set it down on the table and. fold
Mito
her
is the
arms.
eyes emoji right now. She's just
Yeah,
like
she's
showing our affection for Verna. Is that what you said? Count me the fuck in.
well, we might not even be showing our affection for Verna. We might just be punching her in the face.
no,
or
that's
something.
part of it.
Oh, I said
No.
that out of character.
Oh, yeah, you know. So, we clearly can't progress without Verna here. Or at
Mhm.
least, so says Goff, so I'm inclined to agree. So we got to find her first, and then we drag her here, and we punch her in the face a couple times, and we go, "You're
No.
our friend!"
I
And
don't
that's
think that
definitely
would
going to work.
I don't think we're.
I don't
Alright.
think punching her in the face is a good way to tell her she's our friend.
Hmm.
I
Is
would
that what
agree.
you normally do?
Punch a lot of things in the face.
You haven't punched me in the face.
You want me to?
You could try.
And he just stands up to his.
You
He
can't
he just stands up to his full height and folds his arms.
You can't reach, you're a baby. That is in character. Mito did say.
Sissel,
Mito did say you're a baby.
listen. Listen.
I heard
mean-
someone say that once that they were baby.
It was Luma. She said that to
Luma.
see.
Oh my fucking god.
Okay, but for real.
Yes.
If we're going to be getting towards the White Wall, not really inclined to be leaving people behind.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so bad for Falk right now. I was like, what the fuck is this torn page?
I thought it was a dinosaur.
This is no, it's Falk just literally tearing his notes apart because we just all the shit that he wanted to do this session isn't gonna happen because we're just fucking around, being sad and trying to.
No, I want RP to happen. But like for
So-
context, I have like 5 pages of notes. We have not
Oh,
gone.
We'll get to them. Don't worry, it's an investment for the future. So we were told to go beyond the giant wall that no one has ever gone beyond before.
Do we like?
Hmm.
Do we? What was? Looking through my notes. What was the organization that was investigating that right now?
The Precursor Institute.
The Precursor
Uh,
Institute. We don't personally know anybody there, do we?
Well,
No,
know
but
the
they're
head of it.
usually aren't they usually also around those cities that have the ruins in 'em?
Yes,
I thought
but
we
you
did
also
know one specifically.
yeah, you do.
What-
Okay, so there's 2 things. You know, number one, you know who runs the Precursor Institute. It's Nepril Needlenose, who was Gimble's. You met him on the council over at Crankshaft Hold.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, was kind of a jerk ass.
He was kind of aloof.
Ah,
The second thing you know is that there is actually a large-scale archaeological expedition at the White Wall,
okay.
at the Precursor Institute. Like that's just common news in the you know that.
common knowledge.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually,
Well,
if
it
you
seems
look at
that-
your map, you'll see there's a thing that says the Southern Expedition, and that's what that is.
Oh, yeah. Have some
Uh,
reserves.
Well, it's obvious that's one of the directions we need to go in. A primary direction, in fact. So, we need to be ready.
Yeah, we, literally nobody has any idea what's behind it, so, get the feeling it has to do with these, and I just hold up the stone.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them went behind that wall.
Makes sense. White stone, white wall.
The
We have
flower is
no-
a big
no-
place.
The only other clue is we only know where one other stone might be, but to get there we have to go to the throne again, and I'm not sure if we're ready to go back to the throne.
Mm, let's try the white wall first before we try the throne again. I'm. You
Yeah,
know,
let's.
Last time we went there, I kind of died. Right, kind of
I know.
died. We all kind
I
of
know.
were not in good shape.
Yes, I definitely remember.
I'm not particularly inclined to go back anytime soon.
You can't spend too long avoiding it.
No,
Liza, Liza's still holding on,
but you're right.
but I am fine with going to the wall first if you so wish. But all I'm saying is that when it comes to these stones, of which there are many, we only have one, and we only know the location of another, supposedly. That's still a very few, so answers to where the others might be would be of great help. And, it's perhaps. Do you think the Academy might have notes on this? They have forbidden knowledge in their secret library that they won't let us into.
What makes you think they'll let us into it again?
I am very angry. That is one thing I hope will help, and I think that the Umber, whatever their title is, may. I am tired of dealing with their attitude about who we are and how important our missions are. I think we might need to have a talk with her soon. At least I want to, and maybe nothing will come of it, and she'll only become more frustrated with me. But I am getting sick of
a
it.
word with the manager.
I'm getting sick of feeling like we have another enemy in this city just because we don't follow some god's damned rules or what have you.
Can always, it's right there. We can always barge in, shake them around a little bit.
I absolutely intend to. And under their supervision, look what has happened. 2 more of the Scion's pieces have been stolen by clearly someone who is abusing their position in the Academy or something else. So that's another 2 losses for us.
I really do.
What?
They're not in the possession of the same person.
Who?
No, just
Verna just
Wait.
shows up in the war room, I guess.
Did you just walk in and say that? Oh.
only one
Wait.
person knocks that neatly. No.
Come in. I guess.
Hello.
Come in.
Okay.
Come in.
Please enter.
We're
Yeah.
assuming you're not some random tavern goer, in which case go away.
Go away.
Go away.
I mean, I'm assuming
away.
we have like someone out there making sure it's
Yeah, you
like
have your sergeant, who's like
Okay.
your
Oh.
strategist person. She stands outside when you guys use the room,
yeah.
keeps guard.
Well, oh, did she say that after coming in?
Hey, and we're all here.
Oh, you're back. Are you alright?
Well, we can definitely help. Use your help.
Patented Mido and you still Spire hug.
Keep forgetting my microphone's on. Like, why am I typing?
Mm,
What's the habit?
that's what I ask myself every session.
Oh, I know why I am, because I'm also talking to my partner at the same time.
Uh-huh. It all makes sense now.
Oh, well, that would certainly help. I would hope. Military code. Well, I don't know what you mean by that, but if you're confident in it, then I believe you.
You'd know better than us in this case.
When it comes to restrictions and things getting in the way when it comes in paperwork, trust no one further than Verna. I don't know anything about it. Anything we can get. Right now, we're trying to figure out where these stones might be located. Even hints as to where they might have been in the past. We only know about 2 of them. We have one. And the other, it is
Ow.
a journey to the northwest, to a mountain that is you avoided the situation, but it almost killed all of us.
It wasn't
At least
the
at least
best.
2 void matter beasts of an unthinkable strength. And then we'll have to trek there, get to wherever all of the
Do we know they're called tiefling?
Yeah.
Yep.
to where all the tiefling, as they're called, are hiding. Save Liza from the dreaming, and then get find her pendant or necklace, whatever, and then return to the crossroads. That's quite a trek, and with a lot of very deadly, fatal obstacles. So
You know,
perhaps
all
we
in
would
a
go to
day's
the
work.
wall first. We didn't. How could we have known about the beasts that were there? Yes.
We really couldn't have.
You're always in good company with us, Verna. Well, I suppose we could go to the lab. We could go to the academy now. Yes.
Assuming. I get
And if-
this feeling like if they were to possess any of the stones or any information on the stones, they really tell us?
Probably not. But I'm not expecting to find exact location information. I'm just thinking, any hints where things might have gone, influences of the stone, things being passed around, evidence that they were once in a location or affecting an area around them, where someone was, maybe stories of someone who had a stone was enacting incredible power in a location.
Maybe information
That sort
about
of
those
thing.
lost heroes.
Exactly, yes. I think we follow the breadcrumbs, and perhaps we'll find the nest of information that we need to just head into to get an understanding. Maybe there will be information telling us that these stones disappeared behind a wall. I don't know, but I think we just need to look for the steps along the way before finding the conclusion.
That would be good.
I'm like the present.
That's
And
So
maybe
what are you
along the
doing?
way we can have a conversation with Umber about our relationship with the Academy as of late. Should it come to that.
well, we did just do something for them, sort of.
They do kind of owe us.
Uh, we'll see if they feel that way.
They better.
So I guess we'll
Go to the academy.
yeah, I guess we'll get our prepare like get all
Okay. So you get
suited
yourselves
up
together,
and yeah.
and you head across town to the academy. It's only been less than a day, so they're still recovering. There's a military presence here now, both within and without of the building, just trying to make sure that things are getting back in order. Um, you're allowed past because you have a military person with you, and they know who you are. Clearance from Bowles to allow you to through. You get inside. The center spire of the academy's tower, it's kind of like it's gone back on, but it's very faint, as if like the magic's kind of been disrupted a little bit, probably from the Blackheart's attack. It's been cleaned up in here. There's a lot less people because some people seem to have been injured or just fled or not involving themselves with it. So yeah, you're in the academy's lobby. You know the way to the library. You know the way to Umber's office. What do you wish to do?
Oh, what do you think? Should we go for research first?
I mean, straight at the top, I would assume.
Are you implying we go to Umber first? Is that what you meant by that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose we could try to appeal to her and see if she'll allow us to look through some of their information.
So you're heading up to
We could
Umber's
certainly
office.
try.
I think so, unless anyone objects.
Yeah.
So you make your way up to Umber's office. Door is slightly ajar. As you approach, you can kind of see through the crack in the door that head researcher Umber is sitting at her desk. She's got one arm in a sling. And she just seems to be looking over notes. She's tired. She's got like a cup of coffee. That's what you see currently.
What's up?
You just say sup and walk in.
Yeah.
She she looks up from her desk, from her paperwork, and she sees Mito enter the room, and the rest of the Blue Hearts just kind of out in the hallway through the crack in the door. And she just kind of like slumps back into her chair, and just like lets out this long sigh.
Don't act too happy to see us.
Goff will step in as well. Probably has to
Yeah,
bow his
also.
head underneath the door.
And she's kind of like avoiding eye contact a little bit.
How
You
do
know,
you
the
fare?
faster you respond to us, the sooner we get out of your hair.
Fine.
How are you? How are your injuries?
Fine. She's uncharacteristically short on words. She seems like she
Is
doesn't
that
have a lot of.
uncharacteristic? She usually
mean,
has been pretty short with us in the past.
Yeah, but she's usually pretty energetic about it. She's usually like,
oh,
telling
she's
you
like
off.
she's like low. She's like depressed shitty with us.
Yeah. I'm fine. They offered to heal it. I refused it.
Why?
I need a reminder.
Of
Of
what?
what?
That, as much as I try, I'm never going to be as good as this job as Anna.
It wasn't your fault.
Yeah,
I
it was
know.
kind of a shitty situation for everyone
I-
involved, really.
If
I
you
don't
hadn't
think
shown
Anna.
up, I don't know what would have happened.
I don't think Anna would have done a much better job dealing with something like that than you would.
I think you underestimated Anna then.
I don't
She's always been a
underestimate
sharp
Anna.
one.
I don't underestimate Anna, but those versions of ourselves, that is not normal. Demons pouring through portals, aberrations, and those from realms far beyond. And that is scary, but in some strange, twisted way an expectation. But those versions of ourselves were from a darker future, a time far years in advance where everything went wrong. And they were trying to save it. That's why they were breaking into that vault. They were trying to get to the stone that was inside
I
to
don't
try and.
know anything about this stone. I don't know what you're talking about. Look. It's clear
I'm gonna do an
they-
insight check, even though I believe her. I'm just gonna do one.
Yeah,
just
go
to,
for it.
23.
She seems tired, exhausted, really. Seems like she hasn't gotten a lot of sleep.
All right.
She says, look, before you go any further. And she seems really hesitant. She just says, I don't know what would have happened if your group hadn't shown up yesterday. This is hard for me to say, but I guess thank you.
Goff looks actually a little bit surprised.
Well. You're welcome.
Thanks are necessary.
Anyway, I assume you came here for a reason.
Yes. We need your help. I believe.
Okay.
But if you don't know anything about the stone that we mentioned, then maybe we have come in the wrong direction. We
Would
are.
it be possible that the Academy's library might have records?
It might. We have a pretty extensive arcane library. We have a forbidden books section, which I believe your comrade there, and she looks over at Verna, already put in a requisition request for.
Oh,
Now. Hmm. Is there. The items in this forbidden book section, as you call it. What denotes something as forbidden?
Forbidden knowledge. Anything that could be potentially dangerous in the hands of a practitioner.
Okay.
Necromancy.
I think that what we're
Demonic.
looking in. Go ahead. Sorry.
Necromancy, consorting with demons, that sort of thing. Blood magic.
Oh,
What about very powerful artifacts?
Could be there. I don't have a full catalog of it.
um,
If you have access, you should be able to peruse. Just don't take anything with you. Don't copy anything.
yeah, of course. Well, but on that, I suppose, on that note, on a similar note, I suppose we should, I guess, tell you of a couple things that we learned that hopefully will help prepare for what might be coming. From as far as we can tell, and then I sort of give her the rundown on like. From as far as we can tell, there seem to be four
Okay.
separate gods interested in Arcadia. One of them is a necromancy. Don't know what.
You're cutting out a lot, Mel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You can. Yeah. So you explain the whole situation to her, and as you're explaining this, like one by one, she's like getting more aghast as you're describing this.
Yeah, and I just yeah.
So
And I'm just like,
no, go on.
this is so. I don't know why yet. I'm working on figuring it out, but it would probably be best for the academy to be prepared.
She nods. Doesn't seem to say a word, but like she takes out a pen and starts writing something.
Right.
Umber,
She looks up again.
you recall, yesterday I asked you about the orbs that went missing.
Mhm.
I
I do.
need you to keep your eyes wide open. Because if someone was able to get in there and take those, and it wasn't the people that we pursued.
No one. We have, I guess, illusory recordings of the vault. There was no one else down there. Your likenesses came through, got in a fight with the guards, completely outclassed them, and in the process busted up a lot of the containers that are holding magical items. Those orbs just vanished. Like literally vanished. As soon as this arcane seal was broken. Nobody took them.
That's even more worrying.
Well, in a way, that's good and bad news. Bad because that means that they are out of our hands. Good, it means that there's hopefully not a traitor amongst those that work at the academy again. So
I've been seeing to it.
What'd she say?
She said, I've been seeing no traitors on my watch.
Good. Ellen probably also would have mentioned like how void matter is connected to Garnet explanation, I think.
Oh, she says, I'll probably ask you for more details later.
Of course, I'll let you know what I can.
But for the time being, you came here for your own work.
All right. Thank you.
I will say this as well. You have a lot to deal with. And I know you may not like us, but I just ask that you try to trust us. Yeah. I want what's best for everyone.
I'm not gonna turn down help.
What'd she say?
Especially-
You
I'm
cut
not
out a
gonna
little
turn
bit.
out. I'm not gonna turn down help, especially not after yesterday.
All right. Take that as good enough. We're on your side. Just try to remember that.
She just goes and takes like a long drink of her coffee
Coffer.
without responding to you.
We'll be in touch.
And just
She
kind
kind
of
of like continues chugging the coffee and just like nods and waves.
and I'll step out
Okay.
into the
Alright.
hallway and
Well, there wasn't as much conflict as I expected.
Thankfully. Well, I suppose all we have left now to do is see if there's any shred of evidence that anyone in this building at any point knew about these stones.
Off to the library we go.
Yeah.
So you make your way down to the main floor, over to the library, passing to that like extra dimensional space that's just miles and miles high bookshelves going on for just into the distance, like the Indiana Jones warehouse. You make your way to the forbidden knowledge section. You see out front there's like the whole place is just locked down. It's basically like a big secure arcane vault, and out front is a like a stationed guard as well as like a check-in desk.
All right.
Okay, what do you do?
Do we check in?
I think Verna probably has to
Yeah,
interact
I just
with
look at
it.
Verna.
Okay. So you see these two humans, guards that are standing to either side of the open vault, and then as you approach the desk, you kind of look down over on the other side of the desk, and you see like in the chair, which you couldn't see approaching, but in the chair is this little diminutive gnome with like these mutton chops and these big old glasses, and he's reading this big book, and he looks up at you as you approach. He says, "Oh, have you come to check out something?"
What are you buying? What are you selling?
What are you selling?
I'll
Makes
buy
me
it
think
at a
of
high
that.
price.
I'll buy it at a high price.
Just makes me think of that fucking Mega 64 video where you guy
Oh my
almost
god, that
arrested.
fucking.
It gives me so much secondhand embarrassment.
They do that kind of. It's so ridiculous.
The one where like the
Mega
lady
64
takes
just
his
gives me
phone.
social anxiety.
The one where the lady takes his phone and throws it on the ground kills me.
Okay, so Verna, you hand over the paperwork, and this gnome starts scanning it, kind of looking over the rim of his glasses at it, and he says, "Well, it seems to be in order. Um, have at it." And he kind of says, "It looks like you've been given free clearance."
Oh boy.
Ooh boy.
Let's
Oh.
go.
At his indication, the guards step aside, and a couple of them turn like the mechanical aspects of this vault lock, and then he steps up and weaves of some dispelling magics, like a certain pattern that unlocks the arcane aspect to this vault. And then
Is it like the pattern thing on a phone?
yeah, sure, it's like that, but like
But magic.
but magic. And the vault door slides open, and you look inside, and there's just like stacks of bookshelves within this enclosed vault that all seem to be cataloged and categorized within.
This is
You
power.
are all you are all allowed within. It's not a big room. It's maybe like 30 feet on a side.
Okay. All right. Let's get searching.
Okay. I want y'all to
Yeah.
give me investigation checks.
Investigation.
I get advantage
investigation.
on.
I will
What are you looking for specifically? Just stuff?
investigate.
I rolled.
Are you just
I'm
looking for
gonna-
stuff on the avatar
I-
stones or anything
I'm
else?
looking for stuff on the heroes.
Okay.
But guys, guess
I'm-
what I rolled?
69.
69?
I rolled a 3, and that means that's a 5 total.
So you ain't
Uh,
okay.
I'm
gonna-
gonna
Ain't
use my
investigating
goggles to get
shit.
advantage.
Okay.
I'm looking. Can I look for two things?
Sure. What do you want to look for?
I'm looking for any information on the avatars. I'm also looking for any information on the wall.
Okay.
I didn't roll super great. I rolled a 14,
What are you looking for?
but I want to look for. This may not even be right for the forbidden section, but this might honestly just be stuff that
What do you
is
wanna look
so
for?
vague that it could be outside
It's just
of
in
it.
the
But
kids section.
Tell me.
but I basically I want to look for story, like anything that talks about individuals that wielded unknown amounts of power through through periods of time since the heroes were around, and maybe like basically trying to see if I could find like evidence of where they might have moved around. Does that make sense?
Are you talking about since the 5 heroes?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That might not even be for the forbidden section. If not, then I'll just
Ellen
look for.
33. Okay. Hiraeth 15. Goff 14. Anybody else doing anything?
I want
Mido.
to help. I want to help.
Sissel got a 5, so
Sissel
Sissel,
stares
you
at
don't
the
find
wall.
anything.
That's what I was gonna say, Sissel. Like, not even because you said that. I'm gonna
Does
help.
Meadow have proficiency in investigation?
I don't have I think I don't know if I have proficiency, but I sure do have. I am smart, so.
You need proficiency to help.
Yeah, but I still want to look.
Okay, well then you can roll for yourself. You do not have proficiency in investigation.
No, I
Okay,
don't.
11. What are you looking for?
God, like. Hero shit. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
so
actually, can I add in another thing to what I'm looking for?
sure.
Stuff about liches. Because we were going to look at that up before.
Oh,
we
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna
okay.
look that
Okay.
up.
Not because I want to become a lich, but because I want to know, like, just
The
more
truth
about
comes
them.
out.
Okay, the truth comes out. This is a long play. Okay, let me go through this one by one.
But the lich thing is like secondary to everything else. Like it's
Let
like
me
a
go through
side
this one
thing.
by one from lowest to highest. Mido, with an 11, you are looking for information on the heroes.
Yes.
Okay. Anything in particular? Because you definitely find some information about the 4 heroes, their life, like where they traveled, what they did. Like what kind of information are you looking for in particular on them?
Like what they did.
Okay. I mean, they're most well known for striking back against the orc invading army, like, and then pushing them back into the jungles to the south of the highlands, which really became the Flame Fields. This particular book, since it's in the Forbidden Knowledge section, does go into a detailed account of like what they did in order to create the Flame Fields, using the magic of these powerful stones that they had acquired. It goes into a little bit of detail on when they acquired them. So Archmage Edmund came back with his, the one that Sissel now has, after he came back from the White Wall. The rest of them, Angus, Velis, and Thaddeus, all obtained their stones through some sort of trial. Angus and Thaddeus specifically, their stones seem to have some sort of connection with one another. And in fact, Thaddeus and Angus were very good.
Word.
Falk?
Yeah.
He said friends.
Oh, okay. You cut out for me. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So that's that's what you found. You find some information, basically that their stones were interred with them, but that later either those stones were like taken by robbers or it just went missing. So there's
That
really
sounds
no
familiar.
so there's really no indication as to where they've gone. So the next highest was Goth with a 14. What are you looking for again?
I rolled a 15.
Yeah, but the next highest was Goth, so I'm going from
Low
lowest
to
to
high.
highest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going
I wanted to look for any evidence of individuals and like
post 4 heroes.
post for heroes that might like maybe classified. I don't know if that's the right word. Like incidents of maybe like random shitheads like doing crazy shit with
So I will
stones.
tell you that
And then after that, maybe looking up a little bit of information about like weaknesses or how to fight
Right.
or deal with a lich or like what
Okay.
makes it stronger and what makes it weaker.
So I will say, as far as the stones go, or any people with like great power or whatever, unfortunately, you don't find anything. It seems that in the 300 years since the heroes were interred with their stones and the stones went missing, there has been no resurgence. No one has seen these stones since. Anybody with them. Which kind of tracks because it seems like these stones appear once in an age.
Oh.
So as far as the heroes are concerned, like it also seems from the reading that you're doing that these particular heroes seem to have had a connection with these stones that allowed them to use them. And then you kind of like show that to Sissel as well, and it makes sense to you because you feel this weird innate connection with your stone. As far as liches go, you find documentation written by Anna on liches, and specifically like a proposal, an analysis. This was written maybe about 20 years ago by Anna, where she was kind of mulling over a bunch of different ways to deal with the Far Realms threat. After the whole incident happened with the siphon the first time, she basically started going a little extreme and trying to find anything that she could about how to deal with it. And so one of her proposals was, let's take a bunch of our really powerful mages, make them immortal undead sorcerers that can deal with this shit. And then she started, like, as you read through the notes, she's like weighing the pros and cons of the situation, and then ultimately comes to the conclusion that this is just not worth it.
This is a bad idea.
Like, it would potentially work, but the amount of human sacrifices involved in order to do it is just not worth it.
Okay.
For liches themselves, you know from this reading that a lich seems to be highly resistant to a lot of forms of magic and most mundane weaponry. They don't need to eat or sleep because they are undead. They are extremely cunning and intelligent. They basically can't be killed unless you can find their phylactery, which you already knew.
Mhm.
They are also very highly resistant to really any sort of spell casting. Like they are, like anything that requires any sort of non-physical resistance in game terms. Like anything that requires a con, int, or whiz save, they're probably going to succeed on. They're very, very dangerous and resilient creatures. But you also learn that as time goes on, their minds do sort of degenerate, and their bodies sort of degenerate. Until they just become these malevolent, like demi-liches, which are nothing more than just like the skull of a lich that just seeks power on its own accord, and doesn't actually have a will of its own anymore. So, which is another reason why Anna kind of said, like, no, this is a really bad idea. Let's do it. So that's what you find. Next is Hiraeth. What were you looking for again? You were looking for two things.
Looking for stuff, any additional information about the Avatar Stones, which we've heard a lot about, and also the wall. Any information about the wall, or what it
Yeah,
is, or
Mario.
what's
Okay.
beyond it, or
Okay. So as far as the Avatar Stones go, what the additional stuff that you find is relating to the fact that these stones have been seen multiple times over the last several thousand years. It wasn't just with the four heroes. They have been found at any one time every few hundred years, for going back maybe about 5,000 years. And they seem to have been increasing in power every time they've shown up.
Oh.
Not all, and another thing you discover is that not all of them have ever been in the same place at one time. You've never had an age where 7 heroes have appeared.
You said that the time with the 7 heroes was like a one-time thing. It has not happened before.
It's never happened before.
Okay.
And there
So-
are 7 of them?
Yes, there are 7 stones.
Wow.
Um,
There's 7 of us.
they have never once, like, when the heroes that created the flame fields existed, there were only 5 of them. You know, Goff, Eggley Cragbreaker, when he existed, he was all by himself, basically.
Hmm.
So it's never been a circumstance where, and you don't even know if, like, there's monk flavored Avatar Stone in existence anywhere. You don't know. It's a good presumption, but
Yeah.
you don't know anything about those particular heroes. Like, there's some documentation about some monks, some masters of martial arts in the East Nishea having fought like demon hordes in the desert and that kind of thing, almost single-handedly. As far as the White Wall, you find some documentation that seems to be a record of the Southern Expedition and the Precursor Institute's efforts there over the last however many years it's been, probably like a good 15 years of research. The white wall is actually a misnomer. It looks white from a distance, but as you get closer to it, you realize that the white aspect to it is actually just like a field of, like, an energy field of magical force that surrounds the. When you get close to it, in fact, you see beyond that force field is the typical precursor tech, the black obsidian with like the green runes on it. Attempts to scale the wall physically have ended in injury, not death, but injury, as automated defenses have activated to try to keep people off the wall. Trying to go around or above it has led to being lost in a mist and getting turned around and ending back up the way you came. That's all you can find about that. Ellen, so you are, with your 33, what are you searching for?
I was gonna say I'm looking for information about the Avatar Stones before the heroes, but we already covered that. I also wanted to look for, like, the biggest mention of Avatar Stones, but
Okay.
also anything, just anything about, I guess, if there's been any information about something either beyond the White Wall in Ashea.
In Ashea?
Yeah, like,
So the
just
wall
some-
only extends across Fertum.
Oh, so only.
It only
Oh,
goes from coast to
okay.
coast in Fertum. If you try to go around the wall, like take the coasts or go into the water, you end up in a mist and then end up back where you.
And you end up going backwards. Okay. Okay.
So as far as the Avatar Stones are, you do find, with your keen eyes, what looks to be a handwritten book. as you open it, it's strange. You open the book. It looks to be a journal or a diary, and all the pages have been torn out. But there is a small note in there, and it says, "Hello, Blue Hearts.
Oh!
Oh!
I figured you'd be
Fuck.
looking. I figured you'd stumble across this eventually. Take it you're
Hello?
looking for Avatar stones. There's one in a vault underneath the academy. I don't know if you've gotten it already. The rest I've been looking for
Who
a
is
while. I'll get to it.
Is the note all? Is it writing out as we read, or is it already written?
It's written. This is
Oh,
what
okay.
Ellen is reading. It
I
says,
feel like Ellen opens it and then just reads, "Guys, you need to hear what the first two words of this book." Hello,
So-
Blue Hearts.
let me finish. So
Okay, yeah.
basically, so the note says, if you're looking for Avatar stones, there's one underneath a vault that I placed there 20 years ago.
Oh, it's Anna.
The securities system should let you through. I've made sure. Pick it up. The rest of them, as far as I can tell, I don't know where they are. That's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm planning to do for the next few months. By the time you probably read this, I'm going to be on the White Wall. That's where my people live. That's where the precursors are.
Ah.
She said she's going beyond the White Wall. Like
Yeah.
That's what she's planning to do right now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
So
Oh well.
better hurry up. Love, Anna.
Oh.
I'm just gonna read that.
Is it
And then-
dated?
It was about 6 months ago,
Oh shit.
before she left.
Oh.
Wowzers.
She said better hurry up. We didn't do that.
I can't remember. Did I try to send Anna a message
Yeah.
since she left and it didn't work?
Yes. Yep. I think so. I don't remember if you actually bothered her. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Well, I think
it's been literally like 8 months, dude. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Well, I think
So-
Provenza is our next destination.
I guess.
I
Uh,
guess. Well,
I guess the wall really is where we need to be going next.
Well,
Wish
we
had
should
found
figure
this
out how to
sooner.
do that as quickly as we can.
well,
Well, I think we'd go to Evendell and then make our way from there.
I think precursor technology. Sissel's had a way with it recently, hasn't she?
Yeah.
I mean,
who
you
better
do
to take
understand the
along than
technology.
me when you're dealing with precursor technology?
Oh, like we were gonna leave you behind?
No.
I think if there's a wall that needs to be torn down, that you will need to be present,
Oh,
even if it requires you catapulting your own damn body through it.
Well, if it comes to it, let's
No.
hopefully it won't.
let's not do that
No.
again. But
No, I wouldn't prefer that.
All right. So as you all, with this new knowledge, make your next preparations to seek out the White Wall and seek out Anna, I think that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Bam,
Okay.
bam, bam,
Live
bam.
letter,
Oh,
live
that
letter,
big
live letter.
Lord-
Live letter.
Sorry
letter.
about your notes, Falk.
What's that?
Sorry about your
Sorry
notes.
about your notes.
It's fine. We actually got
Dungeon
some.
is called like
See-
Cosmos, the Great Cosmos. I don't know what that is.
Huh, that's...
Yeah,
Oh,
it
is
was-
there no translation?
It looked cool. I had the
Hey.
stream. I had the stream on mute
There's
in the
no silver
background, and I
plating.
saw